with Joe Giacalone. Joe Giacalone scored a goal in the last game. He talked about tonight's matchup.
Yeah, you know, I expect it to be a very tough game, and it probably matches up pretty closely on paper like it does with all the games in this league. I'm sure the heat will be a factor, and I'm sure the team that wants it the most and does the most about it is going to be the team that's going to come away with the victory. We realize it's going to be a pivotal game for us. You know, we have 4 games left, and you know, we got to make the most of every game. And I think all the guys are pumped up. We want to really go at this team, the Santa Barbara team, and just make the most for ourselves.
And there you have the words from Joe Giacalone, one of the California Emperors, that this afternoon will be looking for their 4th straight victory. We're going to step aside with this edition of our Acura Riverside pregame show. And when we return to the University of Redlands, the starting lineup for tonight's APSL matchup, Real Santa Barbara and the California Emperors. We'll be back right after this. World-class of Redlands, our Acura Riverside pregame show continues right now. At midfield, we've got Julian Rodriguez, one of the many California Emperor volunteers, kicking out the ceremonial first kick here today. As far as the starting lineups go for this matchup, beginning with the visitors, Real Santa Barbara comes into this game. They've got Pollock and Hutchinson up front, Robertson, Placencia, Vomstig, and Simon the midfielders, and then the defenders, Alvarado, Basso, Hansen, Crumpy, Paul Crumpy from the U.S. national team, and Mark Leonard, the starting goalie. Switching on the other side of the field, the California Emperors, the home team in this game tonight. Once again going with Jerry O'Hara up front, Monty Reed, Joe Giacalone, Giovanni Perez, Kurt Allen, and Michael Fox, the midfielders, Alex De Oliveira, Bill Durkin, Alberto Brew, and Richard Ryerson. He's the sweeper with Chris Wilson in at goal again tonight. We're going to step aside for a quick moment, and when we return to the University of Redlands, the start of this game, the California Emperors and Real Santa Barbara ready to begin this APSL showdown, and we'll return right after this. Stadium, the University of Redlands, Real Santa Barbara, and the California Emperors. This APSL West showdown means a lot for both teams. Right now, Real Santa Barbara sitting in first place, the California Emperors charging. They're hoping to move up the ladder here in the Southern Division and gain one of the 3 spots that'll be going to the playoffs. I'm David Bolton, and with me once again, Dean Foley, calling the action to you from the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire area. And Dean, looking at both of these teams on paper, Real coming in first place, California in 5th. However, point-wise, they're very close.
Yeah, it's a very close race here, Dave. Real Santa Barbara has been in first place practically the whole season. They've been battling. They've got a very explosive offensive team. They're very tough physically, but they also play a very disciplinary type game because of their coach, Valerie. He's a very disciplined person himself.
And this is Real Santa Barbara here with the ball. Paul Crumpy, number 11. He played on the U.S. national team that went to Italy, one of several players from that U.S. national team, now a member of this American Professional Soccer League. There's players scattered in both the APSL Western Conference and also in the Eastern Conference, and those national team players after their stint in Italy coming back and joining this professional league here in the United States. Real Santa Barbara on the far side. This is Alvarado, number 6. Lalo Alvarado. Foul there called, and it's going to be still going for Santa Barbara. Looking at the players that will be coming off of the bench for Real Santa Barbara, Joey Bellotta, Femi Olokani. He scored 2 goals and an assist last night during Santa Barbara's game with San Francisco. James Thompson played with the team last year along with David Swenzide and the backup goalkeeper and assistant coach Steve Tipping. On the other side of the field, we've got the California Emperors coming in with Richard Lopez, Terry Rollins, and Ken Sinchak. Back to the action here. Santa Barbara's Tim Vomstig there, trying to get it up front, but California comes in nicely defensively, getting it to Monty Reeves, and here come the California Emperors. We've seen them run many times this way before, going to Monty Reeves. Cesar Placencia was there. Got Monty Reeves down, got the ball back for Real, and Santa Barbara comes down. This is Ben Pollock. Pollock replacing Olokani tonight. Femi Olokani suffered a knee injury earlier this season, and after the victory last night, the coach for Santa Barbara, Valerie Volosnik, decided that it may hamper the recovery of his star player up front, Olokani. So Coach Volosnik has decided to put Ben Pollock in the starting position up front.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Fali Olokani come back in early in the first half or maybe in the second half.
Throw-in's going to be coming up here on the near side for California. This is number 4, Billy Durkin. Goes up looking for Giovanni Perez. Off the head of Perez, O'Hara is there. However, Alex Basso comes over for Real Santa Barbara. Rildo Meneses, the head coach, el director técnico for Real Santa Barbara, not pleased with the early moments here, but he said before the game that he's a very happy man today because his players, his group of Emperors, have a lot of confidence, and coming into this game, confidence is something that they're going to need a lot of because Real Santa Barbara has proven many times this season that they can score. The ball getting back to Chris Wilson, and Real Santa Barbara will be setting up here offensively. The wind picking up a bit here. It's a rather hot afternoon in the Inland Empire area. The wind is something that we can hear and feel a lot of up here. This is Basso again. Getting it back to Placencia. Cesar Placencia played last year for the Sacramento Senators along with Joey Bolasa. Bolasa started the first few games for Real this season before getting injured, but again, he may be one of the substitutions that are utilized by Santa Barbara depending on how this game goes. California now trying to get something going, but a bit of a slow start here for California. They just don't seem to have the footing that they've had in the early moments before, but we've seen Santa Barbara here try to get the ball back, and this is Alvarado. Lalo getting it to Vom Stig. Vom Stig played last year for Real Santa Barbara along with Lalo and David Swenzide. The only three remaining players from last year's Real Santa Barbara team that finished third, and that's Steve Robertson shooting that one high and long. And we mentioned Lalo Alvarado. He has started in all 16 games this season for Real Santa Barbara, an endurance individual so far, and he's watched Real Santa Barbara win the majority of their games. And Dean, he's watched that Real Santa Barbara team go from third place last year to first place this year.
And I think that has a lot to do with their coach, Valery Valtikoff. He's come in here and he's had his way. He's had some star players that didn't want to put up with his system, and he released them very quickly. They play his way or they don't play, and that's the way that, you know, a good coach will be. Same with Rildo Meneses, and that's a major improvement that Santa Barbara's made this year.
Rildo Meneses working closely with this Emperor group of players all season, and during that pregame conversation I had with him, he was saying that this group of players is pretty close to where he wanted them early on, the style of play that they've been utilizing, and we'll see exactly how they fare against this Real Santa Barbara team. This is California setting up Kurt Allen, bringing the ball in, looking up front for Jerry O'Hara. O'Hara can't get there, but still Allen gets the ball back, and now this is Joe Giacalone. Giacalone shoots, but that's off to the far side, and Mark Leonard didn't really have to move too much, just kind of watched that ball trickle away.
Well, the Emperors brought the ball down the far sideline very nice that time. Passing the ball, one touch, getting it off, getting the shot open for Joe Giacalone, who scored his first goal last game. He's really he's a heart and soul type player. He gives everything he's got. You'll see him constantly hassling the other team, running after every ball. He's one of those intangibles that we talked about before, that it's the glue that keeps the team together.
Jerry O'Hara with a great takeaway. Goal! Goal for California early on. Jerry O'Hara breaking up the Real Santa Barbara attack, taking the ball away, firing it past Mark Leonard, and we've got one on the board for the California Emperors. It's 1-0. The California Emperors have taken the lead over Real Santa Barbara early on in this APSL showdown. Let's go to the replay, and Dean, your analysis.
Well, the ball is passed bad over there by the left fullback, Jerry O'Hara. One touches it, blasts a shot past the goalkeeper, Leonard, who was out of position. Jerry O'Hara, when he gets a foot on the ball, that's just pure power. That's a no-doubter. Blinked his eyes, it's in the back of the net. 1-0 Emperors.
And the California Emperors getting the early goal. Giovanni Perez knocking that one out, and just when California was watching its three-game winning streak, it could be 4 if a victory comes tonight. Still a lot of action in Santa Barbara. They've shown they can score many times. That goal coming from Jerry O'Hara officially 6 minutes, 18 seconds into this game, and it's 1-0 California. And Dean, a game like this, an early lead perhaps, is something that a team would enjoy a lot.
Oh, any lead in a game like this. This is pressure time. It's crunch time for the Emperors. That's something you're going to see Santa Barbara doing to Monty Reeves all game. They know he's a burner. They want him out. They don't want him to get the speed. They're going to do anything to try and to slow him down a little bit, and it's something that was brought to Monty's attention before the game.
There you see number 20, Femio Lucani from Real Santa Barbara. We mentioned he had 2 goals and 1 assist during Santa Barbara's game last night, a 3-2 victory over the San Francisco Bay Blackhawks. And having talked with Greg Jones, the PR director for Real Santa Barbara prior to the game, he said it was the first time the Real had scored 9 points in a game, actually 3 points, but 6 points with the points for a victory, totaling 9. And it was also the first time the Real has swept a team, winning both games during the regular season. So Real Santa Barbara coming into this game definitely on an emotional high. But California has started things off here. This is Ryerson, and now Kurt Allen again on the far side. Ball's going to trickle out over the far touchline, and it'll be throw-in time here, Dean, for Real.
Well, watch Real Santa Barbara is a very physical team. When the Emperors went up and played them in preseason up in Santa Barbara, they played very physical. They got the Emperors out of their game early by playing physical, and the Emperors trying to retaliate. The Emperors have matured so much, though, as a team and added some players that I don't think that those kind of tactics will work again tonight.
Real trying to come out here offensively, but not much is going to be mounted on this drive, and California getting it back to goalkeeper Chris Wilson. You know, we mentioned Paul Crumpy being a member of the U.S. national team. Alberto Bru and Armando Ceja, 2 members of the California Emperors, played with Crumpy a few years ago during the championship Hollywood Kickers team. It was the start of the professional careers for all 3 of those gentlemen, and who would have thought then that they'd be competing here in a very intense APSL game that means a lot for both teams. The Emperors looking very cool and confident. Seems like California's making Real play on their terms, and being a home field surface, Jerry O'Hara and company making sure that they know this is their home surface.
Well, the Emperors only made 1 change in their lineup. They've got all their players back. Now they've got Lawrence Lozano back. Now they've got Alex de Oliveira back. Now they've got Armando Ceja back. Armando twisted his knee a little bit last night. Alex comes in to play sweeper, which is good in some ways, but Rildo Manessa said that he would not have made any changes unless Armando had complained of the bad knee. That shows that, Rildo, no matter if the star players come back, will go with the team that's gelling well together and winning ball games.
Alex de Oliveira, who sat out the last game with a red card, is back in action tonight, and he's replaced Armando Ceja in the lineup, but Ceja undoubtedly will probably see action in this game. Jack Maloney back to Kurt Allen. California here setting up. California played Real Santa Barbara during the preseason, the game taking place in Santa Barbara, and it was one of the first times that California actually was on the field as a competitive unit together, and it was Real winning impressively 4-0, but California coming out tonight is going to make sure that they think differently here this evening. And you can see another large crowd on hand braving this scorching temperatures at Ted Renner Stadium in Redlands, California. A big change of pace for Real compared to their game last night. The ocean breeze coming into La Playa Stadium, and tonight this Emperor team feels right at home here. The heat is on. This is Fox crossing it, looking for Monty Rees. Cleared out there by Alvarado.
Hey, Alex, behind you.
And Alvarado again knocking out over the far touchline, but the official giving the ball over to Real Santa Barbara. And you look at Mike Fox there, he's right on the bubble. 4 caution cards, 4 yellow cards so far this season. A player, once he gets to 5 yellow cards, must sit out the next game. So with all these games down the stretch, very important for California. Dean, I think Mr. Mike Fox is going to make sure he does not get another yellow card.
Well, when you got a player of Mike Fox's ability, here's the play, Dave.
And that was Ben Pollock shooting that one over the top. And you were saying, Dean?
Okay, when you got a player like Mike Fox, he knows his limitations. He knows where he stands. Right now, he knows he's got to lay off a little bit, maybe create more offensively. That's what Coach Meneses has asked him to do. Play up front more. Don't worry about the defense. That's what Joe Giacalone and Kurt Allen are there for. And you've seen so far tonight, or today actually, Joe Giacalone and Kurt Allen are causing a lot of problems for the passing lanes for the Santa Barbara team.
Durkin looking again for Monty Rees, but Alvarado came in there nicely. And it's going to be thrown here on the near side for the California Emperors. Billy Durkin, number 4, into Fox. And Durkin has it back, moving past Pollock. Into the middle, this is Allen. Allen shoots, but Robertson was there, and now it's going to be Cesar Plasencia leading this Real Santa Barbara drive. De Oliveira called with the foul, and it's going to go back here to Real Santa Barbara.
Well, you can see with Santa Barbara's offense that they do a lot of weaving and interchanging of the forwards. You can see them when they're coming down, they're overlapping, they're running. It caused problems for the Emperors in the first game that Robertson scored a hat trick in that game because he was left wide open on a couple plays on the right side because the fullback was getting sucked in.
Santa Barbara right in front, but Billy Durkin, a good job there covering. Hutchinson had come in, but Durkin came over, and it's going to be corner kick time here for Real Santa Barbara, and Cesar Plasencia comes over, and he has talent. He's one of two foreign players on this Real Santa Barbara team, and from the Senators last year, it was a folding situation for that APSL West club, but Cesar Plasencia has found a new home here with Real Santa Barbara. Corner kick comes in low, and brought out here, but Robertson, he's there again, shoots, but off the arm of De Oliveira. This is Tim Von Stieg. Kurt Allen took care of him, and Plasencia fires, but off of Joe Giacalone. Giovanni Perez is there. This is Alex Basso, number 5. He's from Argentina. California making it tough on Real Santa Barbara here. And it's going to be the Emperors coming down. Fox looking for Jerry O'Hara. Alvarado's coming over, and that one is just going to trickle over to the left. Alex Basso was there on Jerry O'Hara, and Mark Leonard came out of the goal, and Jerry O'Hara just kind of curved that one a little bit. Looks kind of like his tee shots in golf, but a little bit straighter. That could have been goal number 2 for California. Nonetheless, it's going to be time for Real to set up here.
Well, you're seeing a real offensive game here. Mike Fox got the ball, gave it up very nicely to Jerry O'Hara. Mark Leonard came out of the goal. He was already out far. Made a nice cutting off the position.
This is Santa Barbara coming out again here. Cesar Plasencia quarterbacking this team offensively. Giovanni Perez and Kurt Allen now going for Monty Reeves, but Alvarado was there. Plasencia, Trumpy, and now this is going to be Ben Pollock, number 13, coming down. But again, that Emperor defense playing tough. Alberto Bru, we see him for the first time in action here. Plasencia on the far side. Great job there, marking by Richard Ryerson. Took the ball away, and now it's going to be California Emperors coming down offensively. Mike Fox, the quarterback for California. Now it's A.B. Alberto Bru getting it back to Giacalone. Giacalone over to Ryerson. Ryerson crossing it in, looking for Reeves, but slid past everyone, and Real will get another crack here. California getting it back. You got to say the Emperors have been dominating the first few moments of this game. The first 15 minutes of this APSL showdown going in favor of the California Emperors. You can hear the jets and other aircraft overhead from nearby Norton Air Force Base here in San Bernardino County. This is Robertson under the sound of aircraft going up front, looking for Hutchinson. Fox was there and just kind of watched that ball go out over the far goal line.
Oh, it just shows right there the Emperors' teamwork. Alberto Bru went up on a run down the sideline for the Emperors, and Mike Fox just came back, played defense, covered his spot for Alberto Bru. He's a very, very good team player. AB these last few weeks has been the MVP of this team. He has been in the task of marking the toughest forward for the other teams, and he has just done an excellent job of keeping their big forwards out of the back of the goal.
You know, Dean, looking at the skill of these players, you know, they've all gone through youth programs at one time or another to get to the level of play that they are today, and the California Emperors in their youth development program, scheduling several summer camps this summer. They're beginning in August 6th to be specific, here in Redlands, California, and California's Monty Reeves there, marked nicely by Santa Barbara. And earlier this afternoon, Octavio Zambrano, the youth director for the California Emperors, had a few words for all youth trying to be a pro perhaps someday. Octavio Zambrano, the youth director for the California Emperors.
Dave, with me are the California...
Time for Cesar Plasencia and Real Santa Barbara, but Alex De Oliveira showing his height, probably 6'6", the Brazilian standout for California, clearing that ball out. And here, Steve Robertson is forced to set up with his team again. Robertson shot once, deflected by California. Now he comes over here, again looking for Plasencia. Kurt Allen Sliding tackle, getting that ball out of bounds, and it's going to be time for Real here again, Dean, to set up.
Well, Real's putting a lot of pressure on the Emperors. It's gonna be a dogfight in this game, Dave. The Santa Barbara has they just don't stop coming at you. They've got so many offensive weapons. Why the Emperors are just gonna have to get 3 or 4 goals in order to put this game away for sure.
Steve Robertson, number 7, will be throwing this ball in. Several players are there over the head of all Santa Barbara players in California. Getting the ball out. Paul Hansen. Hansen there going to the far side.
That's what I like to hear. Let's go,
Alex Basso. Basso last year played for the San Francisco Bay Blackhawks. This time, though, it goes out over the far side, and California leading this game 1-0, sitting in the driver's seat, if you will. But, hey, plenty of time to go in this game, so can't throw in the towel at all in this American Professional Soccer League, because we've seen games turn around instantly. California will be playing its final games on the road. They've got a game August 4th, Saturday, at the San Diego Nomads, another crucial game, and then it'll be on to Santa Barbara. California Emperors ending their regular season campaign in Santa Barbara, La Playa Stadium, August 12th against this same Real Santa Barbara team. We may see a few different players on the field for both squads, but it'll be rematch time, and we've got an exciting match developing here. This is Placencia going out to the far side. Real, for the most part here, looking a bit confused, and I think this heat and different surroundings and perhaps the game yesterday all adding up to be a very, very long afternoon so far for Santa Barbara.
Well, they were in a dogfight last night with the San Francisco Bay Blackhawks, who the Emperors play next weekend, with the 3 national team members of John Doyle, Marcelo Balboa, and Eric Winalda. They played a very tough game. They won the game in the 89th minute by a goal by Femi Akatumi. And, to wake up 8:30 in the morning after a game like that, come down to Redding and Redlands, California, and play a game in the heat like this has got to be tough on a team.
Good trap there by Basso, getting it over to Vom Stig. Vom Stig back to Basso. Basso moving past both Fox and O'Hara. Allen comes over. Still, Basso manages to get it up front. This is Cesar Placencia. This is Robertson. Steve Robertson, number 7. Went to Santa Clara University, co-NCAA champions last year, and Real Santa Barbara quickly signed him to a contract. Vom Stig coming over looking for number 11 Crumpy, and also Robertson was there, but whistle on the play, and it's going to be coming back here now for the California Emperors.
And when the Emperors first faced Real Santa Barbara in that preseason game, Steve Robertson had just arrived from Santa Clara, and he scored 3 goals in his first 3 times he touched the ball. I believe he scored goals, and the Emperors just weren't ready. He had a great season up there with Santa Clara. That's a good program up there.
Real Santa Barbara vastly improved from last year, and Joe Giacalone trying to get this one past. He shoots, though, but it's into the arms of Mark Leonard nicely, and Real Santa Barbara coming back. California here. This is Fox, Mike Fox, getting it in, looking for the Oliveira. Alvarado, Lalo Alvarado came over, got hit hard there in the shin, and California enjoying its 1-0 lead. And we're going to step aside for a quick 30-second timeout from America. Nothing, but here's Santa Barbara in front of California's goal, and Hutchinson going over, and another whistle called there, and the California Emperors and Real Santa Barbara are going to be setting up here. Dean going back the other way.
No, it's a back-and-forth game, fast break type. The Emperors are trying to make some runs with Monty Reeves and Jerry O'Hara down on their side. Santa Barbara with Cesar Placencia, their quarterback, bringing it down, trying to get it up to their high-scoring forwards. The California Emperors right now seem to have a little bit of control of this game, even though Santa Barbara is coming right back down and putting on an offensive onslaught.
Santa Barbara, Alvarado, Basso. Mike Simon and Richard Ryerson tangling up there on the far sideline. Throw in here. Mike Simon, number 15 for Real Santa Barbara. You know, we mentioned this Real Santa Barbara team compared to last year. Last year, they were right in the middle of this 5-team APSL Western Conference Southern Division, finishing 3rd out of 5 teams. And then in the off-season, Dwayne Hanna took over ownership of the team from his 3 other co-owners from last year, Carlos Cedecedo, Mike Tremin, and Tony DePaco. And when Dwayne Hanna assumed control of this team, he decided to really focus on a championship team, and along with Coach Valery Volosnik from Russia, from the Soviet Union, He's been able to put together a very talented group of players in the field, bringing players from all over the state, and quickly Santa Barbara took control of the Southern Division lead, and they've been near the top most of the season. But as of late, they've been watching over their shoulder because the California Emperors have been coming back. And to start this week, California was in 6th place, last place, but they've moved up. Right now, they're in 5th place, but they're only 1 point out of 4th place and only 3 points out of 2nd place. So a victory here tonight, and this California Emperor team is going to be right there in the thick of the playoff picture. Santa Barbara, though, coming down, and the cross comes in, but that's going to slide right across by Paul Crumpy in front of the goal. Chris Wilson didn't have to do much there on the play, and you see Wilson's numbers there, 57 saves, a goal against average of 1.37. He's been in this game for the last several moments with this California Emperor team, watching Real Santa Barbara try to muster something up here offensively, and it's been a good turnaround for Chris Wilson in a goal because the team started out rather slowly, winning their first few games when Wilson was in at net, and then he was replaced by Ken Sinchak, and California went on a winning streak, and then Chris Wilson had to watch those victories from the bench. He came back in then during the last few weeks, and as of late, he's seen this Emperor team win 3 straight games, and tonight, California going for 4 in a row, and here they're going for Jerry O'Hara. He's got power. Monty Reeves there as well, and barely that ball gets to the hands of Mark Leonard.
Well, I think on that you can go to the well one too many times. The Emperors need to use that run as kind of a surprise, kind of like throwing the bomb in football. You can't go too many times because then Real will just sag back and wait for it. The Emperors need to keep the ball on the ground, put it up, slide it up and down the field with the one-touch passing, and then slide one through to Jerry O'Hara or Monty Reeves.
That was Alberto Bru looking up front for Giovanni Perez, and Perez scoring his first goal of this 1990 season, the last time the Emperors took the field 2 nights ago against the New Mexico Chiles, and it was one of those goals that helped California post the incredible 4-1 victory over the New Mexico Chiles and really make this playoff picture tighten up nicely. Alberto Bru now here with the ball again. Santa Barbara defensively playing tough here the past 2 moments. This is Durkin into O'Hara, back to Durkin. Durkin setting up. He's right there in front, chips it across, a little bit high, but still a nice effort there by Billy Durkin.
Oh, yeah, Billy Durkin comes up from the right fullback. He looked like a midfielder on that one. He's got very good offensive skills with the ball. He's also a very, very good defensive fullback.
We just saw there a moment ago Valery Volosnik, the coach for Real Santa Barbara, came to this country from the Soviet Union where he was both a very successful player and coach. In fact, back in 1967, he played for the Kiev team, and that Ukrainian club team played against Brazilian club teams many times, and it was Rildo Benesses, the coach now for the California Emperors, who played against Valery Volosnik back in 1967. So we mentioned the Alberto Bru, Armando Ceja, Paul Crumpy reunion here. Well, there's also a reunion for these 2 coaches, and who back in 1967 thought that both of these coaches would be sitting so close on the bench, but with all that's been going on in Eastern Europe, it's very nice to see this happening, and Rildo Benesses is liking what he has seen so far in the scoreboard, and he hopes that it continues. Offside call there, and it's going to be coming back here for Real Santa Barbara.
I think that says a lot for American soccer, too, that 2 of the coaches of the APSL Western Southern Division teams are class players from other countries, bringing their expertise and their experience to the American game. That's something that the American public has waited for a long time, and that is the reason why over the last few years you're seeing such a drastic improvement in the way that American players are playing.
Up on the other side of the field, Dean, we've got our usual crew of radio broadcasters. KDIF, 1440 AM, the official Spanish radio station of the California Emperors, Diego de Jesus, Jose Urria, and let's check in with Diego de Jesus as he calls the action momentarily for us via the microphones of KDIF.
Mandado a Monty Reeves. Como digo, Monty Reeves ahora está flojito, no sé qué es lo que pasa con Monty Reeves. Posiblemente había que meter a Faisal Ahmed ahí.
Bueno, lo han castigado bastante. Estos primeros 2-3 minutos ya han hecho 4 o 5 faltas y yo pienso que eso pues tiene que ver, ¿no? Quizás también quizás hace bastante calor, quizás en el campo.
The voices of Jose Urria and Diego de Jesus via the microphones of KDIF 1440 AM out of Riverside County, the official Spanish language station of the California Emperors. On the field now, we've got Alberto Bru, and he gets it over to Alex de Oliveira. Alex de Oliveira sat out 2 of the last 4 games because of red cards, and I'm sure he's happy to be out there finally playing tonight.
Well, everybody's happy Alex is back to have the big guy back in the back line. He makes such a difference on the head balls, even though when he was out, the Emperors, it didn't seem like they missed a step without him. But he's a dynamic player that big things are expected out of him and will come with time.
And we all know what happened to Alex during the preseason when California played Santa Barbara, receiving his head injury, several stitches there, and he had to sit out several games. But he's back in form now, and his teammates are thankful for that. Kurt Allen, this team has been winning ever since he's been in the starting lineup. Positive sign for Kurt Allen and his potential in this American Professional Soccer League. He played previously for the LA Heat, but he's here with the California Emperors as you look at the bench there of Real Santa Barbara.
Kurt Allen has, like you said, Dave, you made a very good point that he has come in here and he's one of those scrappy type players. He's a funny guy, you know, kind of keeps the team loose, but when it gets on the field, it's all business, and he has really come in here and made the difference for the Emperors.
Both the Emperors and Real Santa Barbara certainly not giving anything away. It's becoming a very good match here, and both teams playing strong defense, and defense will definitely be a key in this game all the way down as we look at this ball in the feet of Joe Giacalone there. On the near touch line by Paul Crumpy, forced out, and it's going to be thrown here. Mike Fox, and he goes back to Ryerson. Ryerson, who went to UNLV, former rivals with Femi Olokane, who went to Fresno State. This is Fox in front. Great opportunity there, but Mike Leonard just stretched his whole body right in front of Mike Fox. The ball went off of Leonard, and it's going to be corner kick time here for California. Mike Fox, Mr. Experience, if you will, on this California Emperor team, setting it down in the corner. Both of the teams jockeying for position in front of the goal, and Mike Fox will be launching this ball.
Watch for Alex de Oliveira, the big 6'6" Brazilian coming in from the backside.
Hey, we got to play the fan.
And we got the whistle. This is Fox. Goes up one, stop, sets up again. Here he goes. Fox brings it in. Several players are there. It was Jerry O'Hara. Right play, Dean. Wrong player, but still, good call by you because Jerry O'Hara in then position. Got his head on it, but over the top.
Well, like we said before, they want to score off this goal kick. It's going to become a situation where the goal kick or one of the free kicks that scores a goal is going to be an integral part for the Emperors making the playoffs. They need to score off of opportunities such as that where they get a free shot at the goal. And all good teams do it, and I'm sure the Emperors, they've worked on it a lot, and they've been finding other ways to score, but watch out for it because I think that they've got to play ready for Real today.
Let's take a look at that shot by Mike Fox and exactly the defensive effort there by Mark Leonard, the goalie. You see the ball coming over, and Fox, great opportunity in front, and Leonard heads up play, stopping that ball, knocking it over, and we've still got a 1-0 score on the board, and Santa Barbara coming down. They're called with offside. Cesar Plasencia, Jim Hutchinson, both of them up front, and the California team will be setting up here again, coming back.
Well, Cesar Plasencia has come into this Real Santa Barbara team and really made a difference. He's among the top scorers in the league. He's a good assist man. He can put the ball in the back of the net. He's an all-around player, and he's their team leader on the field.
Mark Leonard, the goalkeeper for Santa Barbara, also played last year for Sacramento, and looking down their roster, no less than 3 players for this Real team coming to us via the Sacramento Senators. Kurt Allen, a nice trap. Sets up, chips it across, looking for O'Hara. O'Hara marked nicely there by Paul Hansen, number 4. And with this ball rolling around the ground, we're going to step aside for a quick 1-minute commercial break here during our coverage of the California Emperors on the Prime Ticket Network. We're going to return to the University with more championship soccer from this, the American Professional Soccer League. Very exciting game going on, and the California Emperors sitting in the driver's seat, leading this game 1-0 over Real Santa Barbara, and California's been dominating things most of the way. There's about 12 minutes to go in this first half of action. Looking on the near side for Billy Durkin. The ball trickles out, and it's going to be throw-in coming back, and this wind continues to pick up. Dean, what kind of factor will this be in the game?
Well, the wind's blowing right now from Santa Barbara's back to the Emperor's front. That gives the goalie a good opportunity to get the fast break started.
And Santa Barbara was trying that fast break.
Mark him up. Mark him up.
Alex de Oliveira and Durkin were there. This is Ben Pollock, number 13 for Real Santa Barbara.
Get up.
Pollock, one of the players in this APSL to come from indoor soccer. He played for the AISA. Several MISL players also in this league. And there you see one of them, Mike Fox, who played with the Wichita Wings for 5 years before joining this Emperor squad, and he's quickly 4-on-1'd by Santa Barbara, and Real gets the ball back. Cesar Plasencia looking up front there. Hutchinson on the run, but couldn't get a foot on it, and it's going to be time for this California Emperor team to come down looking for its second goal in this game and playing under its familiar Inland Empire heat. The Emperors have been hot so far. This is Monty Reeves. Leonard comes out, and again, Mark Leonard, a great play defensively.
Oh, he's a good goalie. We saw him up in Santa Barbara. He comes out. He's a very aggressive player, very athletic, a big guy, and he made the difference on that play because Monty Reeves had an open area to put the ball right over him into the back of the net.
You mentioned he's aggressive. You have to be aggressive in this league, Dean, because these players can throw anything at you. And we've seen this California Emperor team. I think something like 11 players on this Emperor team have scored so far this season, so they can come from you from anywhere.
No, balance is a key in this league. If you get a lot of players scoring goals, getting assists, then you're going to have the best of the league.
You see that wind there, blowing that flag around. You can only imagine what it is on the field for this ball as it travels in flight after one of these players boot it or chip it. It can affect it somewhat, and it's hot as well, over 100 degrees here in Redlands, California, the heart of this Inland Empire area. The Emperor's feeling at home, and I bet Real Santa Barbara wishes that it was at its comfortable La Playa Stadium for this game. A big difference, let me tell you. Vom Steeg heading it up front. Called there offside against Real Santa Barbara, and the California Emperors, with about 8.5 minutes to go in this game, are going to try to hope that they can continue their lead and go into the locker room leading this game as this APSL showdown continues.
Both teams they're playing their games. They're trying to do the things that work for them. California's defense has been very stingy the last few weeks in giving up anything. They've really come together as a team. They've gelled well together.
Santa Barbara, this is Plasencia. Cesar Plasencia. Stopped momentarily by Ryerson in California. California playing well defensively here. Rildo Vanessa saying this team has come together how he wants it, and we've seen them play their best soccer this season the past few weeks, and it's shown. 3 straight victories, and they're looking for number 4 tonight. Ryerson again. Hats off to Ryerson in this early first half action. He's come through several times. O'Hara going a bit far, and Leonard way out of the goal, and offside was called there on the play anyway. Monty Reeves and Ryerson running side by side. There you see that low angle shot from behind Leonard. Alberto Bru tripped up from behind, and the official's going to give it to Santa Barbara.
Well, Alberto Bru got an 8.8 on that dive that he just laid out there, kind of a belly flop type.
Could use him in the Goodwill games in the aquatics division. Santa Barbara setting up here for the free kick. This is Plasencia, Cesar Plasencia. Got a lot of skill. Just lost that ball up there nicely. Several players are there, and a great diving, leaping header there by Joe Giacalone.
Once again, Joe Giacalone always seems to be right in the middle of things. He's a gutsy player with a lot of heart.
Joe Giacalone played last year for the San Diego Nomads, and he's come to this team with open doors. Real Santa Barbara has seen his usefulness, Dean, and it's something that I'm sure they're going to utilize down this stretch run as we look ahead to the APSL playoffs.
Well, he's gotten himself a starting position, that's for sure.
Plasencia again on the corner, just lofting that ball up nicely. Makes it look so easy, but that one's over everybody, and this time it's going to come back here, Dean, for California.
Well, yeah, the Emperors are playing their game. They're keeping within themselves, and they're not taking too many chances like Rildo wanted them to do. He wants them to just play, get the 1-goal lead, but the first 50 minutes play a little, play not too cautious, but to keep things under control, not get too, they don't really have to go out and try and score a lot of goals. They can sit back and kind of pass the ball around and get their opportunities, but keep it out of the feet of the dangerous Santa Barbara attack.
Don't forget the Emperor's party at Baker.
This heat will definitely be taking a toll on these players in the second half. It's an early start to this game, starting at 2:30 in the afternoon. You don't see that too often in this league, and I'm sure Real Santa Barbara was hoping this would be a night game because temperatures here drop down considerably under the evening skyline. Alex de Oliveira bringing it across midfield on the far side. This is Alberto Bru now. Gets it in looking for Reeves. Now it's Giovanni Perez, the younger brother of Hugo Perez. And now it's Richard Ryerson. Ryerson to Reeves. Reeves to Perez. Going up to the corner, out in the far wing there, but Robertson's going to get a step there on Perez, and despite a shove by Perez. And we're going to step aside for a quick 30-second commercial from Lotto, the official uniform supplier. The California Emperors coming down, Dean, looking for that second goal.
Well, it was too bad we were at a commercial break because that was beautiful soccer right there. They brought the ball right down. One touched it. I think at least 7 of the 11 players touched it on that last sequence there. That was the way the Emperors want to do. They brought it from one side of the field to the other, back over, had the open shot, and sooner or later, shots like that are going to fall in for goals.
Real Santa Barbara, Tim Vomsteeg here on the near side. Mike Fox, though, taking it right away, getting it back to Durkin, who goes to Allen. Allen getting it past Fox. Nice play there by Fox. Giovanni Perez couldn't quite get on it. This is Alex Vaso.
That was a good aggressive play there by Kurt Allen. Both guys going at it 110%. That's what you want to see out here. A lot of action.
This is Ben Pollock there, but Mike Fox defensively making it tough, and Pollock losing the ball there. But Plasencia fires off the back of Durkin out over the goal line, and with about 2.5 minutes to go in this first 45 minutes of regulation play, the California Emperors will be setting up here defensively as Real Santa Barbara sets up for the corner kick. And once again, Mr. Plasencia will be going over, and we'll watch him bring this ball back into play.
If the Emperors can go in with a 1-0 lead at halftime, I think they've got to feel pretty good about it. Real Santa Barbara, though, are the comeback kids. They scored a lot of goals with no time left or little time left up in their stadium. Then you got to see what they're going to do down here.
Plasencia bringing it across again, over the top of everyone one more time. Plasencia perhaps getting a little bit harder than he thought. Perhaps the ball carrying a bit in this hot weather here in Redlands, California. But nonetheless, it's going to be time for the California Emperors to be bringing this ball out. And you see him running there. I don't know how long they'll be able to do that before into this heat. But Joe Giacalone and the rest of the Emperors practicing every day in these similar conditions, so they've got endurance, and they'll be able to endure this weather for some time, no doubt. De Oliveira bringing it across midfield, looking forward. Jerry O'Hara, but Paul Hansen got to jump on him a little bit over the back of O'Hara, and now Fox into Allen. Allen's been playing well lately, Dean.
Yeah, Kurt Allen has. Like we said before, here's the shot.
And it's going to be to the near side, and Mark Leonard just watched that ball trickle away. And Kurt Allen, how would you describe a player like that who's come on during the latter part of the season?
Well, I think basically Kurt Allen was hurt at the beginning. He wouldn't admit it, but he was hurting from a knee injury that he suffered during the preseason. I think he tried to come out a little bit too early, tried to push the knee. He got sat down on the bench because he wasn't performing up to what Kurt Allen can do. He sat on the bench. He had a lot of time to think about it. And when he got his chance against the LA Heat, he took the most of it. Before that LA Heat game, though, he was being brought in special situations when the Emperors had a lead and needed to hold it. Kurt Allen, though, is a special type of player. He's the type of player that is needed on a team to become a championship team.
The clock has stopped at 2 minutes, meaning there's under 2 minutes to go in this first half of action. The official time being kept on the field by the referee. Number 11, Paul Crumpy. What a feeling that must have been for this youngster to play in Italy before thousands of spectators at those Italian stadiums, and then millions of spectators via television. And he's back here now with a lot of memories, I'm sure. Vomsteeg shooting that ball off the back of De Oliveira. Crumpy heading it out, and Durkin goes back with him, heading back and forth. This is Plasencia getting it to Crumpy. Crumpy in the corner, getting it past Allen. Nice cross, but De Oliveira heads up play, getting his head on the ball. That's going to go over the goal line. It's going to be corner kick. Robertson runs over. They know this clock is ticking down. They know there's not much time left. Real Santa Barbara sets up for the corner kick. That's Robertson taking over for Plasencia on the corner kick. He brings this one in high. Vomsteeg is there. Watch out. That's over the top. Vomsteeg has some height. And there you have the end of the first half. The first 45 minutes of regulation play have come to an end. And on the scoreboard, the California Emperors are leading Real Santa Barbara by a score of 1-0. We're going to step aside, and when we return to the University...
Johnson and De Silva. Johnson and De Silva. And it's going to be close for third place.
Jeff Williams and Dennis Mitchell are going to be close there.
An important victory in the career of Michael Johnson, the man who says he can take the world record in the 200 meters down to the low 19s, as he says. The current record, of course, 19.72. There is a red flag on the turn. A lot of times in 200-meter running, people step out of their lane as they try to maintain their position in what is a very, very difficult race technically when you generate incredible speed and try to stay in your lane. Michael Johnson has had problems with that earlier in his career because he is such a strong runner, generates so much speed that the centrifugal force sometimes throws him towards the side of his lane. But here you can see all the way on the right, Robson da Silva had an excellent start, but there in the middle, Michael Johnson ran a very good turn. He runs the turn for Baylor's 4x100-meter relay. That shows what a good turn runner he is. When they straightened out, he had the lead, which of course put pressure on Robson da Silva. Da Silva is a good finisher, but all the 400-meter runs that Michael Johnson has competed in this year obviously help him towards the end of a 200.
Coach for the California Emperors making his way onto this Ted Runner Stadium field, and he's leading his team for what could be a very productive second half. Right now, the California Emperors leading 1-0. We're going to step aside one more time, and when we return to the University of Redlands, second half action, the California Emperors and Real Santa Barbara, as our coverage of the California Emperors continues right here on the Prime Ticket Network.
Select his press keeps telling us.
All right. Now, last night, the cleaning lady went into Mr. McKenzie's office, and she found a strange man sleeping on the sofa.
How did she know I was strange?
You got me in big trouble with the boss, Locker, and I'm not going to stand for this.
Now, take it easy, Louie. There's got to be an explanation. Locker, why were you sleeping in the boss's office last night?
Because I live here now.
I'm satisfied.
Look, I'm going to tell you this once. You cannot live in this garage. You can work here, you can sweat here, you can even die here, but you cannot live here. Now get all of this stuff and get out of here before I kill you.
Louie, why don't you take a nice deep breath and never let it out?
The checker.
And look products. Young award that may stand up in any court. Welch ran his major league best record to 16-3 tonight, even though he was in the soup all night. His own. So did the Athletics offense. And right here, this is the other Canseco. This is Ozzie, and that is his first major league hit after spending 7 years in the minors. Rips it down the line. And right here, Hendu scores his first major league RBI, but he also shows how he runs the bases, and you can get away with that in Huntsville, Alabama, but not in the bigs, and Jose will remind him about that, I guarantee you. Top of the sixth, it's 2-1 California. Welch trying to work out of another jam. He goes high and hard and takes care of Johnny Ray, and Welch did it when he had to do it. Now, bottom of the sixth, Jim Abbott becomes the victim of the A's power. Take a look. Hendu gone. There goes McGuire. Forget it. And then who's this? Mike Gallego. He says, why not? He joins the power circuit as well. That gives the A's a 5-2 lead. And if you haven't seen enough, if you've seen enough offense, how about a little defense? Now, Hendu goes and gets Winfield's shot. He comes up smiling, but you tell me from Winfield's reaction. There's Hendu. Winfield just says, I cannot believe I don't have a double. Anyway, we move on to the scoreboard, and there you have it. So,
This is Jefferson.
About another on, I can't say. I mean, that's the...
10 minutes of live.
You've worked with everyone. And I worked with them all. But this guy is... I think this is his year. I think it's going to be one of those little gold statues for Mr. Ford this year.
Okay, now... They agree on this. Now, I didn't want to interrupt Mr. Dennehy, but while he was talking, you were having a hard time controlling yourself over there, laughing. Why were you laughing?
Well, I'm very flattered and moved by what he said. That's
But
really
even
sweet.
before that, when I thought Giovanni Perez, and there's also a substitution for Santa Barbara now. This is Basso, and you look at the bench for California. Ken Sinchak there, the backup goalkeeper. Fox. And now Faisal Ahmad and the Emperors come down on the run. Monty Reeves streaking, and Ahmad moving to the middle, getting it back to Fox. But Real breaks it up, and Placencia, number 10 there.
Faisal Ahmad had Joe Giacalone wide open over on the right wing. He's gonna be in Rildo Meneses' doghouse unless he just does the one-touch approach to the game, because every time he starts doing that and trying to take on 4 guys, he finds himself sitting on the pine real quick.
Mike Fox Number 14 will be bringing this ball back into play. There's Kurt Allen. Trying to get by Tim Vom Steeg. And it's going to go against California there, and Real Santa Barbara will be coming out.
Well, the Emperors are going to have to get another goal on the board real quick here, because I personally don't feel that one goal is a sure enough bet against a team as powerful as Real. 2 goals might not even be a sure enough bet. They can score fast and furiously. Emperors cannot sit back and enjoy this lead.
Not at all. This is Basso. Alex Basso, number 5. He shoots high, almost went through the football goal post, and it's going to be goal kick coming back. And you see the conditions there. Hot, over 100 degrees, clear skies, a little bit hazy, typical Inland Empire weather. The wind still picking up here, as it always happens in the late afternoon, picking up and causing havoc to not only the flag, but also perhaps to the conditions on the field. Mike Fox out to the far side, and this is Billy Durkin. Into Fox. Emperors are in good position here. Mike Fox chipping it over here to Jerry O'Hara. Broken up there on the play by number 4, Paul Hansen.
Throw it, Real Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara throws the ball in. This is Vom Steeg trying to trap it, and he barely gets possession, but Joe Giacalone heading it up front, and O'Hara heading it back to Faisal Ahmed. Ahmed crossing the ball. Will Allen get there in time? Nope. Just streaks past him out over the far touchline, and it's going to be throw-in time. Coming back now for the visiting Real Santa Barbara.
Well, that was a nice cross there by Faisal Ahmed. The far side, the right side, or the left side, actually, for this Real Santa Barbara, they're being left open right now. I think if something of a defensive adjustment is made, you're going to see a goal come out of there for the Emperors, as well as Alberto Bruce's side over here, number 9, or actually it's number 8, James Thompson, the new addition onto the field, is wide open.
That's Pollock battling there with Billy Durkin, and Durkin prevails with the ball, and this is De Oliveira. Trumpy back, and Durkin and again Pollock both going at it, and this is Robertson off the head of Pollock. Hutchinson goes down, and it's taken back by California. Fox, trap right in front of Placencia. Faisal Ahmed went up for it along with Hansen, and Santa Barbara this time getting it, but there's the big man, Alex Antonio Santos de Oliveira for California.
Billy Durkin's having a nice game tonight, Dave.
Durkin's played well. Real Dubanez putting him in the lineup a few weeks ago, and he has earned that starting position, and so far California has earned the lead against Real Santa Barbara. 1-0 on the board. Billy Durkin, the last player to be signed by this California Emperor team, and no more players can be signed by any team in this APSL. Today is the cutoff deadline when a team has 4 more games remaining. That's it. You must get those registration papers to the league prior to the last game, and this is it tonight for both of these teams. Real. This is Placencia. California quickly comes there, and it's going to be offside called against Santa Barbara, and California will be setting up.
Well, the Emperors did make one signing Friday. They signed a 19-year-old guy named Juan Solis. The coaches are both very high on him. They couldn't get him in for this game, but he will be suiting up for the San Francisco Bay Blackhawk game. But he was signed on the notion that Lawrence Lozano was out for the rest of the season. Now Lawrence is not out for the rest of the season, so we'll have to see what happens with Juan Solis.
You mentioned Lawrence Lozano. There was word 2 weeks ago that he would be out for the rest of this 1990 season. Perhaps if the team goes to the playoffs, he could re-enter into the lineup. However, good news this week, good news prior to the New Mexico game, California getting word that Lawrence Lozano is able to play. In fact, he appeared in the California-New Mexico game, and he suited up, ready to go in this game if Real Dubanez, the head coach for California, decides to utilize his 19-year-old star. Durkin, and this is Faisal Ahmed and Fox. Fox brings it across midfield, looking for a streaking Giacalone in the far wing. Paul Hansen is there, And Hansen watches that ball trickle out over the goal line.
Well, you could hear Joe Giacalone call for Mike Fox all the way up here with that high screeching voice of his, and he's got some wheels. He's a very fast. He's deceiving in how fast he is, and that was a good idea by Mike Fox there. He was wide open, just a little bit too much on the ball.
Real Santa Barbara here again. California, though, heads up play. Caution card time. Real Santa Barbara giving some bad words. That was Paul Crumpy. Let's take a look at that again, Dean, and see exactly why the official pulled out the caution. It was Paul Crumpy, number 11.
Well, Crumpy's got the ball here, and you got Monty Reeves coming from back, Faisal Ahmad, and it looks like Monty stepped right on his foot and tripped him, and that, you know, that was a foul definitely, but Paul Crumpy had a couple words for the official, and that's how you get yourself a yellow card.
This is Billy Durkin, number 4, crossing it. May have even been a shot. Pretty darn close either way, and it's going to be time for Real Santa Barbara to come out with a goal kick, and we're going to step aside for a quick 30-second timeout, and when we return to the University of Redlands, we will see what happens with the caution cards in this game. First, this game 1-0. We're in the second half of action in the California Emperors. Dean Foley with the ball again here.
Yeah, the Emperors are playing the one-touch. Alberto Brew, Mike Fox, Joe Giacalone, all working very, very nicely together. It's very key when an Alberto Brew comes up and makes a run that one of the players, a Mike Fox or Joe Giacalone, Faisal Ahmad, comes back and replaces him defensively. This ensures that in case of a counterattack, that the Emperors will not be caught one man down and have a 3-on-2 situation.
Alex Basso, number 5. We mentioned he played with San Francisco Bay last year, and he was probably pleased last night when Real Santa Barbara outlasted the Blackhawks 3-2 at La Playa Stadium.
Professionals in the United States are playing more often than not. They're playing with Umbro. The Umbro ball.
Faisal Ahmad. Real Santa Barbara, they're on the run. That was number 13, Pollock, but California getting the ball back. Ryerson going out to the wing to Giacalone. He's got Monty Reeves in front. Giacalone signaling for Mike Fox to come in and guide things from the middle. Fox is there. He shoots. Goal! Goal! Goal for Mike Fox of California. Mike Fox getting that ball past Mark Leonard. Second half goal for California. The second goal in this game, and we've got 2-0 on the board. Valery Volosnik, the Soviet coach for Real Santa Barbara, watching Mike Fox put the ball past Real's goalie Mark Leonard. Coming in the second half, 12 minutes into the second half, the replay. Dean, well, you describe it.
Joe Giacalone gets back to Fox. He just blasts the ball past the goalkeeper Leonard. Here it is. Joe Giacalone brings it back. Mike Fox with the right foot on the inside post. Just a nice shot. Joe Giacalone gets a lot of credit on that ball. He didn't try. He had it open on the wing. He didn't try and force the ball in where all Real's people were. He brought it back out to Foxy. Fox took the shot. Goal Emperors. That was beautiful, Dave.
And the California Emperors opened up this game with that goal. We're going to step aside for a quick 30-second timeout. Time for us to get our breath back, and time for this California Emperor Real Santa Barbara matchup to regroup. When we return to the University of Redlands, we're going to have more second half action. University of Redlands, the score still 2-0 in front of the California Emperors. California has sure stunned this Real Santa Barbara team here. Real in first place coming in is watching California set up for the corner kick. Mike Fox, who just scored that last goal, 57-minute mark, brings it in, and Jerry O'Hara managed to get his head on the ball, but that went out over the goal line, and it's going to be time now for Real to come back with a goal kick. But, Dean, what a 2-goal performance so far for California.
Yeah, and it was almost 3 goals. Faisal Ahmad just had the ball distributed to him down the left wing. Mark Leonard came out and made a great save again. He saved a couple goals today, or else it could be worse. He's a good aggressive goalie. But still, a 2-0 lead is nothing safe with this much time with this Real team.
The wind picking up here in this late afternoon affair. Foul call on the play against Santa Barbara, perhaps. The frustration showing a little bit here. Jim Hutchinson fouled there in front of this large crowd at Ted Runner Stadium. A lot of local fans turning out to say thank you to California for a very successful 1990 season, a 1990 regular season that very well could extend into the playoffs for California. Michael Fox now coming across midfield. Monty Reeves is back a bit too much, but he's moving up front, and James Thompson there marking him nicely, and Kurt Allen going to the far wing again for Giacalone. Watch out, California and Joe Giacalone. We saw what happened last time. Fox again, this time to Faisal, who shoots over the top. But Faisal Ahmed, Dean, back-to-back shots on goal.
Oh, the way that the Emperors are distributing the ball right now is absolutely beautiful. They're one-touching it. It's so reminiscent, once again, of the San Francisco game. They're getting open shots. They're always finding the open man. They're running to the open spot on the field and getting the ball to him. It's really nice to watch. It must be very nice for these fans in Rio Domineses to see.
Faisal Ahmed, one of two foreign players, a Syrian-born Faisal Ahmed. He was utilized as a second-half substitution against Seattle, and California won that game. Faisal's goal set up the penalty kick competition after the second overtime period, and it was California, thanks in large part to the goal-keeping effort of Chris Wilson, that prevailed, outlasting the Seattle Storm in penalty kicks 2-1, and that victory, along with victories over San Diego and New Mexico, have made this Emperor winning streak now at 3. A victory today, and we're going to see 4 straight, Dean, for California.
And that's true, Dave. And you can see that Santa Barbara really plays nicely up front. They interweave in between each other, like I said before. It could be dangerous for the Emperors.
I watched a few games for Santa Barbara earlier this season in Santa Barbara, La Playa Stadium, and Cesar Placencia playing a key role every time up front, and they are really set up well in their forward positions. California now has the ball. Mike Fox into the far wing, and that was broken up there by number 4, Hansen. And Leonard's going to get his hands on the ball here, the goalkeeper for Real Santa Barbara.
Well, the Emperors just keep on bringing it down and creating opportunities for themselves.
This is Hutchinson, perhaps trying to do it all himself, but decides to go back to Thompson, and that's when it was broken up by California. This is Jerry O'Hara going out to the far wing to Mike Fox. Watch out here, Leonard's out of the goal. Fox with a great move. Oh, but then a heads-up play there by Tim Von Stieg, the stopper for Santa Barbara. Getting the ball back from Fox and getting it to Leonard. But still, California here has the ball, and the Emperors will be retrieving a bit, setting up, and they can afford to watch this clock sit down, leading 2-0. If they can maintain this, they're going to be sitting nicely in this Southern Division race.
Oh, yeah, there's under 30 minutes left in the match, about 25 minutes. The Emperors are playing very, very well. They're keeping the Real Santa Barbara out of their half of the field. Real might be a little bit tired, and this heat's going to wear on them, but you know that they're going to give it a good shot here. And Mike Fox is once again showing his versatility and his ability to create things and create problems for other teams.
A victory here by California, if it stays 2-0, will give California 64 points, and they will be only 2 points behind first place Real Santa Barbara. What a week it's been for California if things prevail. A nice header there in front of the goal, but Chris Wilson in position stops that ball, and Real Santa Barbara turned away again. But don't count out the Santa Barbara team. Crumpy now to Placencia. Placencia going again. Placencia in front, but it's De Oliveira getting the ball back to Chris Wilson. And Dean, just when we're talking about a victory by California, we see Real turn on the juice, and we know anything can happen at any time.
Anything can happen at any time. The game's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say in baseball terminology. It's got to be a constructed effort by the Emperors that they have to play hard for 90 minutes. They've got the advantage. They have the day rest. They have the heat to their side because they practice in it. And they just have to play smart soccer and not try and create too many offensive opportunities and leave themselves open for the counterattack.
This is the last home game for California. The Emperors closing the season August 4th at San Diego, and then August 12th, Sunday afternoon, at Real Santa Barbara. Sunday afternoon game at 5 p.m. Season finale for both teams. The header there in front of the goal. But it was knocked away, and Real Santa Barbara taking another shot there on goal.
The Emperors were very fortunate on that one because Chris Wilson was way out of position. He came out, didn't think that Rich Ryerson was going to get to him. Here you see it on the monitor. Here comes Robertson. There's Wilson. He slides, he misses. There's Ryerson, or Durkin, actually. Robertson jukes him, puts up a nice header, nice cross. Hutchison just misses the open net. Excellent opportunity for the Emperors there. And, I mean, for Real Santa Barbara, the Emperors are lucky that they got out of that without a goal. You don't want to see that happen now. They're playing so well, they can't get sloppy on the back line.
Chris Wilson bringing that one well out past the center circle, and the substitution we just saw moments ago for Real Santa Barbara, number 9, Joey Bilota, coming into the game for number 3, Tim Vomsteeg, and Joey Bilota, number 9, for Santa Barbara. One of those 3 players we mentioned that have come to this Real squad from the Sacramento Senators, the now defunct Sacramento Senators. On the near side, that's Thompson. And now Hansen. Going to go against Santa Barbara. And Dean is going to be throwing here Alberto Bru in California.
Well, Santa Barbara is a very attractive place to bring players to. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in Santa Barbara and play soccer for a job? I mean, that's just excellent. I mean, nothing to say against playing here. It's also very attractive here, and that's why we've got such quality players.
Ahmed and Fox getting it eventually to Monty Reeves, who's guarded there nicely by Alvarado. Lalo Alvarado. This is Crumpy coming to the near side to Pollock. Pollock moving past California. And Placencia. This is Cesar shooting it right into the arms of goalkeeper Chris Wilson for California. Wilson wasting no time going up front, and it's going to get to the hands of Mark Leonard, and we are going to take this opportunity to step aside for another 1-minute commercial break. And when we return to the University of Redlands, the exciting climax to our APSL showdown, California leading Santa Barbara 2-0. More second half action when we return to Ted Runner Stadium. To look ahead to the final 3 games of this 1990 campaign. 3 important games. Every game's important, and the Emperors on the run again. Giacalone shoots off the bar. Did it count as a goal? Goal! Goal for the California Emperors, Joe Giacalone. One more time, Joe Giacalone coming through, putting the ball past this Real Santa Barbara defense. And it's celebration time right now for California. They're on top, 3-0, and the replay. Dean, you describe it.
Joe Giacalone gets open on the left wing, like we said earlier. He lifts it up. Leonard is just playing a little too aggressive. You knew that was going to happen sooner or later. Right in the back of the goal, that's 3 points. The Emperors are on fire.
Nice read there by Joe, chipping it over the keeper's head, and looked for a moment as if it was off the crossbar, but apparently it hit that back football goal. And it's going to be goal for California. Real Domenechis and his California Emperors dominating this game, leading 3-0. California moving up to second place. You can almost assure that California will win this game. That goal coming 24 minutes into the second half officially at the 69-minute mark, and that means we've got about 20 minutes to go in this game. Time's running out on Real Santa Barbara. There's still time for them to score, but 3 goals in 20 minutes. It'll be a miracle if Santa Barbara can win this game.
Well, it's very important that the Emperors keep Santa Barbara off the board altogether, because any points that they get go against the Emperors. A shutout right now with 3-0 shutout would be all that the Emperors could ask for.
A 3-0 shutout, Dean, if I could interrupt you, would put California just 1 point behind first place Santa Barbara. What a turnaround from last place at the week's beginning.
That's true. That's true. That's what you can't see in any other league. You couldn't see a turnaround like this. That's why this league is so exciting. It's so different. It's a wide open. It lets things happen. Next week up in San Francisco will be important, but this game's got to end first.
You mentioned the point system, and it's a very complicated system, but briefly, it's 6 points for victory in regulation or overtime, and then you add on top of that a point for every goal scored, up to a maximum of 3 goals scored, so a team can win as many as 9 points. The Emperors got 9 points their last time out against New Mexico. If they win this game, they're getting 9 more points, and that's going to vault this California Emperor team into second place. And I'm talking about sports turnaround. This one is going to be ranked right up there among the best.
Oh, yeah. Starting off with an 0-6 start, coming back like this is something else that the Emperors fans have got to be just so proud of as far as management is concerned. we're just really delighted with this team. You know, they've stuck together. We said it last week in the New Mexico game. They stuck together and really pulled out a miracle with this one.
On the near side, a whistle called there. California coming down on the run. Fox to O'Hara, back to Fox in the middle. He goes out to the far side to Kurt Allen. Robertson's there marking him, and Robertson gets the ball back. Robertson now guiding this Santa Barbara team down offensively. Looking to the near side for Pollock. Pollock's going to have to chase it down. Gets there just in time, but Alberto Brew always battling AB, we like to call him. There again in position, and California continues to lead 3-0, and you see the number there for youngsters interested in the California Emperors Youth Summer Camps. Substitution taking place right there at midfield right now. It's Richard Lopez, number 20, coming into this game for number 17, Monty Reeves. Richard Lopez, 5 goals this season, one of the scoring leaders for California, into the lineup here in the second half, and the corner kick there for Santa Barbara has been batted around, and Placencia.
Watch for Richard Lopez. He's been sitting on the bench the last few games, but he's been an integral part off the bench. Very vocal, keeping the team pumped up, always there, keeping them loose. But I know that when he gets his chance to play, he's a fiery player and a goal scorer, so watch him to explode on the scene right there.
Placencia sitting down for the free kick. Cesar Placencia. Robertson there as well. Both players surveying the situation, and it's going to be Placencia. Brings it in low, but Chris Wilson there, getting his arms on the ball, and he can start to put a smile on his face because there's about 17 minutes to go in this game, and it appears to be a California Emperor victory. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but they're leading 3-0, and it's going to have to be some kind of finish for Real Santa Barbara if our visitors from the north are going to pull out this game.
Like I said last week, Dave, if they do come back, are you going to walk to Santa Barbara if they come back and lose?
I would love to walk to Santa Barbara from this Inland Empire climate and sit by the beach for a couple of days. Perhaps I'll take a vacation after this game here. We'll see, but it should be enjoyable being in Santa Barbara August 12th, Sunday afternoon, when California takes on Real Santa Barbara, 5 p.m. at La Playa Stadium. Rematch of sorts, and you know Santa Barbara's going to have revenge on their mind during that game. That'll be played that time in Santa Barbara.
Well, the Emperors have yet to sweep a team this year, and I'm sure that they'd like to sweep the team and get in the playoffs with a victory over Real Santa Barbara in La Playa Stadium.
Kurt Allen, Fox Allen now, and the Emperors wasting no time. You can see their fitness. They practice in this temperature all week long, and they're moving around nicely. A great move by Faisal. And Jerry O'Hara shoots, but Mark Leonard getting there just in time. O'Hara didn't quite hit that as hard as he had hoped.
No, he kind of caught it off the side of his foot, but he was trying to put it into the upper right-hand corner for the California Emperors. Jerry O'Hara has really come back onto the scene here. He was off a little bit, but now he's come back onto the scene.
This is Alvarado, Lalo Alvarado. We mentioned he played with this team last year. And he's out here representing California again. The only player to have started in all games this season. Alvarado crossing it nicely. Great opportunity there, missed by Real Santa Barbara. James Thompson was right there in front of the goal, but that ball slid past not only Thompson, but also a slew of California Emperor defenders.
Yeah, and that was an excellent opportunity for Real, but the Emperors are busting everything up and they're getting in the way.
Richard Lopez on the run on the far side, crossing it, but there was number 4, Paul Hansen. Lopez was looking for Jerry O'Hara, but the ball got to Hansen first, and now Real is going to set up again, looking for its first score in this game. We're under 15 minutes to go in regulation play here, and California playing one of its better games so far this season. They've looked good the last 4 weeks. This would be victory number 4 in a row for California, the longest winning streak in Emperor history. Kurt Allen crossing it all the way over to Faisal. Leonard's out of the goal, and Faisal, good opportunity, though, but he did not capitalize.
Yeah, Faisal Ahmed there could have Could have maybe brought the ball down and juked Leonard because Leonard was jumping, but, you know, in that situation, you're one-on-one with someone, you got to put it down and not allow the defense to come back and let them get into position.
Faisal Ahmed in a good position there to make a move on Leonard, but he decided to perhaps kick it a bit sooner than not really thinking about the shot, and it didn't result in a goal, but California's had its share of goals so far on the scoreboard. It's California leading this game 3-0 over Real Santa Barbara. The Emperors are hot. They're on a roll, and they're going for consecutive victory, number 4. Alberto Bru bringing the ball back into play. This is Jerry O'Hara out of Fontana, San Bernardino County. Up on top to Fox. Watch him shoot it. Fox shoots it again, and that one just slipping out over the far side. Fox wasting no time shooting the ball.
Well, that's something that you knew Mike Fox. When it comes down to playoff time, he's going to play smart ball, and you can always count on him to get a goal or an assist when it's needed. He's a class player, and the Emperors are just so excited to have him.
Mike Fox shooting the ball more this afternoon than he has perhaps in all of his prior games combined, but he's shown that he has that goal-scoring touch. Fox bringing this one in low to Faisal Ahmed. Ahmed back to Fox. Fox will be setting it up from the corner. His wing position comes in high, centering the ball, but Lopez not able to get his footing, and that ball slips out over the goal line.
Well, the Emperors are trying different things on the goal kicks. They're going to try and bring it out to Faisal, back to Fox, or they're going to come across with it with big Alex de Oliveira coming up, and, you know, they're going to try something until it works, until they get a goal out of that.
Michael Fox, a very dangerous foot. He has a lot of accuracy from that 18 to 20-yard range, and his experience is paying off. He knows when to put on the juice, and he's come through with some great plays here in this APSL showdown. Jerry O'Hara there, eventually getting through the Real defense. California. This is Fox again, out over to Giacalone. This Emperor team has come together nicely after some very tough weeks. They seem to be blossoming and playing their best soccer at the right time down this playoff stretch run. Durkin chipping that ball in high. Lopez there again, tried for it. This is O'Hara. O'Hara, watch out, he's got power, and he's in position. He shoots. That one, though, is off the body of Alvarado. Over the goal line, it's going to be goal kick time for California, and you know that's going to mean that Mr. Michael Fox will be coming over, taking over.
Oh, you know, the Emperors have really gelled together well as a team. They're on track. They're on. We said at the beginning of the year, they started off with a lot of games on the road. They're a new team. They hadn't had a lot of time together. But this is when it counts. This is when the team needs to get hot. You got a hot goalie in Chris Wilson. You got a hot offense, and you got a hot team right now.
Fox, the corner kick comes in. Several players are there. Ryerson.
That was close. That was close. Rich Ryerson, one touches it.
Leonard was there. A very nice volley on the play by Ryerson. And it's going to result in another corner kick. Allen getting it into Fox, and Robertson there marking him. And Fox back to Allen. Chipping that one up high. Watch out there. Leonard and O'Hara collide. The official coming over. We may see a caution there or some kind of word.
No, I don't.
He's saying play ball. To the near side, this is Robertson. And it's going to be out over the near touchline, Dean. And we're going to go for just another moment up to the booth and check in with our Spanish-speaking friends of KDIF 1440 AM, Diego de Jesus and Jose Uria. Dean, let's check in with their voices for just a moment.
Here we go.
En Crafton Park en Redlands, California.
Ya jugados 34 minutos de la segunda parte. ¿Cuántos vamos? Ya vamos 3 o 4. 3, ¿verdad?
Llevamos 3 goles.
Ya perdí la cuenta. 3 goles a 0.
Sí.
Ganando los
Una cosa
Emperadores.
increíble que los Emperadores metían 3 goles, aunque lo han hecho en los juegos.
And California in front. The excitement shaking up Diego a bit. Faisal shoots. And yes, it is 3 goals. Diego for California. 3 nice goals so far. They are leading this game handedly over Real Santa Barbara. Cesar Plasencia, number 10, setting up, crossing that ball nicely over to the far side. Pollock is there trying to run it down. Durkin there defensively. Pollock brings it in low. Ryerson heading that ball, clearing it out, and Durkin adding his 2 cents. It's going to go out over the far touchline.
I'm impressed with Pollock. He's a big, strong, he looks like he's fast, and he's got a lot of power on his shot, and he's got some good moves. You really don't see Billy Durkin generally getting juked out on a move, but it seems that Pollock is playing pretty well today, and you know, it's a good addition to this club.
Real, we mentioned, beat California during the preseason 4-0 in Santa Barbara, but when it counts, California coming through, and they're leading this game 3-0 here in Redlands. Faisal Ahmad trying to make a move there on Hansen, but Hansen saying no way, and he's making it difficult. Robertson also got in on the play, and Placencia there from the back of Brew gets the ball back, and Placencia here watching it trickle out over the near touch line.
Boy, just watching Faisal Ahmad run around and hustle like that gets me tired up here, and he's a gamer. This guy always gives 110%, never say no, and that's why the Emperors are so high on him for the years to come.
There you see Faisal Ahmad, Syrian-born Faisal Ahmad, the second leading scorer in the NCAA last season. Farley Dickinson, his school of study, and you see his determination there, Dean, every time. Faisal just does not give up on the play. He's a hustler. He's a player with a lot of determination, and he's going to be with that ball all the way. Back to actual action here. California on the run again. And it's going to go against Santa Barbara. And the California Emperors coming down looking for goal number 4 and consecutive victory number 4.
I think that this right side of the Real Santa Barbara team is tired because Faisal Ahmad has a lot of room to play with.
On the far side, going to be throwing coming back for California. Joe Giacalone. And this is Allen. Ball is going to be turned over to Real Santa Barbara. And Dean, we were talking during the commercial break about the halftime presentation here at Ted Renner Stadium. The California Emperors rolling out the red carpet, if you will, for several of their faithful volunteers and helpers and fans and supporters during this season. Robertson here for Santa Barbara. He's got a load. De Oliveira comes out. It goes in front, and that's a goal! Joey Bellotti, you see him there firing up his team for Real Santa Barbara. Real gets on the board in this game. Valery Volosnik knew that his team could put this ball in the net, and he saw it happen there, changing the scoreboard. 3-1. California leading this game 3-1 over Real Santa Barbara. We look at the replay. Dean, your analysis.
Well, Robertson got open on the wing. He just puts a nice little on-the-ground shot here for Thompson, actually. Just chips it right past Chris Wilson. Here we see it again. Robertson, they think he's going to cross it. Up high, he comes low to the open man, Thompson. Thompson just gets, I think Wilson got deflected a little bit there by Billy Durkin, but that's a nice play there by Santa Barbara. And the Emperors don't get the shutout, and now it's down to 3, and you know Rildo's not happy about that.
There you see Rildo Meneses, the head coach for the California Emperors, trying to keep his team alive in this game, and that goal coming 38 minutes into this second half. We've got about 6 minutes to go in the game here, and California's going to have to buckle down the hatches. Santa Barbara has gotten on the board, and the first one's always the hardest, and from here, who knows what may happen. And getting back to our conversation concerning halftime, the California Emperors acknowledging all the support that they've gotten this season, bringing out their fans and supporters, and it was really a very touching halftime presentation, Dean.
Yeah, it really was. We got to say thanks to the fans and give them some free bumper stickers and some free pins and whatnot. And Peter Schilling got the Players Honorary Fan Award, and we've all talked about Peter Schilling before. It's just a great story of a guy that has really worked hard to overcome his difficulties as this California Emperors team, and I think they kind of go hand in hand with each other. And then we had Bob Lowy, who is a California super fan for 1990. He's been to every game. He flew to Arizona to watch our game out there, and he's a soccer fanatic, and the California Emperors are happy that he's their soccer fanatic and not somebody else.
And getting back to the fans, generally speaking, they've been the 12th man on this California Emperor team all season long. The Emperors have drawn a lot of fans here to this Ted Renner Stadium, more than any other team in this Southern Division of the APSL, at least from the Southern California area. The fans have turned out, braving the hot temperatures, sitting under the sun, the scorching temperatures at times, and they've seen this California Emperor team develop into a winning team, Dean. 3 straight victories in here with about 4.5 minutes to go under hot temperatures. California looks for number 4.
Yeah, and I really think that the fans have played an integral part, that if California Emperors win this game today actually, they will be 500 at home after starting off very slow, and I think that's something that, you know, you need your home field advantage to be your advantage. And at the beginning, the Emperors won more games on the road than they did at home, but they pulled out and they've come out of it, and they got 3 tough road games that are within driving distance. So if any of those California Emperor fans want to come out, they're more than welcome to.
August 4th, Saturday evening at San Diego. In Chula Vista, the shot there by Giacalone, who's from San Diego County. The game with the San Diego Nomads will be August 4th, we mentioned, Saturday evening, 7:30 p.m. in Chula Vista at Southwestern College, and then it'll be the big rematch after this game tonight, August 12th, Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m. at La Playa Stadium, Santa Barbara City College, right across the street from the Santa Barbara Harbor. That should be a beautiful afternoon of soccer, and we're going to be with this California Emperor team right to the end of their 1990 season during our coverage of the Emperors here on the Prime Ticket Network. Dean, you're mentioning if the Emperors win this game, they'll be 500 at home, and with 3 more games away from home, they can even their road record the same. And this is Robertson in front. He shoots. That one just curved out in time, and with 3 minutes to go in the game, Dean, if that ball had gotten in the goal, it could be watch-out time for California.
And that's the truth, and the Emperors have got to play 90 minutes of soccer. Points count no matter what. Now that Real's got 1 instead of 2 points down, if the Emperors are lucky enough to win, they'll be now they're 2 points down instead of 1. It's going to come down to this at the end of the season, where an easy goal, because somebody's getting lackadaisical on the side, is going to mean a playoff spot, and it's do or die time. And these guys, both ends, have got to realize this, that when you play with this kind of point system, that anything can happen. Nothing's assured. Nothing's assured. None. Victories don't mean, they mean a lot, but they don't mean everything.
Jerry O'Hara there, double teamed on the play and a little pushing. However, O'Hara in about 2 minutes is going to have the last laugh, because we've only got 2 minutes to go in the game, and we're 2 minutes away from a smile on the face of Rildo Meneses, because that will be 4 straight victories. He's said it many times over, but it's going to be a very significant 4th straight victory for California, because it's going to vault this Emperor team into 2nd place in the Southern Division. The story of the week out of the APSL, the California Emperors. Mike Fox on the far side, setting up for the free kick. You know this Emperor team's going to try to wear down the clock. Fox stepping away. Durkin comes over. Durkin chipping that ball in high. Out to the near side. California's going to juice every minute, every second off this clock that they can. Giacalone in front again, bringing it out to Alberto Bru. They're going to do like a basketball team does, trying to wear down that clock. Faisal Ahmed now making his move, and Santa Barbara's going to kick it out here over the near touchline. Paul Crumpy coming in, realizing that he's got to get that ball out because the clock has stopped at 2 minutes. We are under 2 minutes to go in this game. 2 minutes away from victory for California over Real Santa Barbara. Faisal Ahmed now crossing it in low. Santa Barbara, watch when they get the ball. They're going to come down fast. This is Cesar Placencia going up front. That was Joy Balata. Out to the far side. Santa Barbara making the move. They're in front. California coming in, backing up. Goalkeeper Chris Wilson nicely defensively.
Here you see Hutchinson comes down, puts a little move on De Oliveira, gets it to the line, shoots the ball across, but there's Billy Durkin right there to back up Chris Wilson. That's what you need.
Placencia coming in with the cross. It's headed. Goal! Goal! Goal for Real Santa Barbara. Off of the cross, the corner. It was the header coming in right in front of Chris Wilson, and this has become a game. Joey Bellotti, you see him there firing up his team. Let's watch it again. It happened so quick, Dean.
Here comes the cross across. Chris Wilson goes down. The ball bounces right over him to hit the back of the goal. This could get very, very costly at the end here if they keep on playing. Too defensive. You got to go after the win here. You can't just rely on the clock to run out.
Paul Crumpy coming back to Chris Wilson. California trying to wear down the clock, but perhaps they did it a bit too soon because there's only 1 goal separating these 2 teams now. It's 3-2 on the scoreboard. Chris Wilson bringing that ball out far and long. Richard Lopez, but it's Mark Leonard that got there first. Watch out for this Real Santa Barbara team. Santa Barbara gave that ball away there. You do not want to see that happen because time is running out for Santa Barbara, but they have sure made a gutsy comeback in this game. There you have the end of this game. The California Emperors have knocked off Real Santa Barbara. An emotional finish here, a dramatic ending, and what a way for this soccer game to end. Smile, Rildo, your team has just won their 4th straight game. Put a smile on that face because you are on your way to the 1990 playoffs. We're going to step aside, and when we return to this University of Redlands Stadium, we're going to be on our way to the post-game show sponsored by American Airlines. Our guest, Alberto Brew. California has just knocked off Real Santa Barbara. The Emperors are in 2nd place, and we'll be back on the Prime Ticket Network right after this. June 9th, 1990, the first meeting between the California Emperors and the New Mexico Chiles, turning into a controversial affair. In overtime, the Chiles' Chris Cook shooting hard at California's Ken Sinchek. Sinchek knocked off his feet, and it resulted in the game-winning goal. Despite an emperor of a protest, the Chiles went on to win the game by a final score of 2-1, a victory that has since vaulted New Mexico into a tie for first place. July 7th, 1990, the California Emperors hosting defending champion San Diego. A second-half goal by Monty Reeves breaking a 1-1 tie, and California pulls off a stunning 2-1 victory over the Nomads before 2,600 spectators at the University of Redlands. July 14th, 1990, the same Ted Runner Stadium in Redlands, California. The California Emperors continuing their winning ways, disposing of the Seattle Storm eventually in penalty kicks by a final score of 2-1. The Emperors are on a roll as California tries to catch first place New Mexico. Tonight, at the home of the California Emperors, the University of Redlands will be the site for meeting number 2 between the Chiles of New Mexico and the Emperors of California. The desert Southwest invading the heart of Southern California's Inland Empire as our coverage of the American Professional Soccer League and the California Emperors continues right here on the Prime Ticket Network. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Bolton, and welcome to the University of Redlands Ted Runner Stadium. This is our Acura Riverside pregame show. Both teams right now are off the field. They're getting ready to come down here onto the surface at the Ted Runner Stadium for the start of this APSL showdown and the pregame introductions. It should be a great game because the fate of the California Emperors in terms of qualifying for the playoffs depends a lot on what happens here tonight. Earlier today, we had several youth preliminary games, as always happening before the professional California Emperors game. Among the teams that were here, the California Emperors youth teams from around the area, and the California Emperors reserve team, which took on, in this game, the Legends under-19 team. That was one of 4 preliminary games here. The Emperors continuing their commitment to youth. The lineups tonight, well, for this game should be interesting because New Mexico comes into this game right now in a 3-way tie for first place. The New Mexico Chiles are hot. They're tied with Arizona and Santa Barbara, and the record right now of 7-9 for New Mexico is not that significant. However, the points 57 are, because that's put New Mexico in first place. Their record away from home, 2-5, is something that the Emperors hope they can continue to keep right there at 2-5. The Emperors, meanwhile, on the other hand, they come into this game sitting in place number 6. They have 47 points. However, they're only 10 points out of first place, and the California Emperors, with some victories during their last 5 regular season games, could very easily move up the standings. It's going to be a dogfight right to the end of this APSL Southern Division. And while we speak about the APSL Western Conference Southern Division, it's become a battle. All 6 teams within 10 points of each other as we go down the final stretch, the final 5 games of this 1990 season. Taking a look at the standings from this APSL West Southern Division, you see New Mexico there sitting atop with the record of 7-9, but the points are what counts in this league. Arizona and Real Santa Barbara, all 3 teams with 57 points. The LA Heat with 51, San Diego right there behind them, and the California Emperors not too far behind at 47 points. In the APSL North, it's a dogfight as well, because right now the Seattle Storm sitting just 1 point in front of second place Colorado. Both of those teams, Seattle and Colorado, will be playing here tonight. Well, it should be a very interesting matchup. Both teams right now are coming to the field here at the University of Redlands, the New Mexico Chiles and the California Emperors. We're going to step aside, and when our Acura Riverside pregame show continues, we're going to have the starting lineup from the University of Redlands, plus very exciting professional soccer action. All this and more when we return to Ted Runner Stadium right after this brief commercial timeout.
Acura Legend, an automobile engineered for the joy of driving. Recognized for an ownership experience second to none. #1 in the J.D. Power Customer Satisfaction Index survey with product quality and dealer service for 3 years in a row. Every year it's been eligible. The 1990 Legend sedan. Precision crafted performance from Acura.
Friends, if you've had credit problems or no credit, look and listen to this.
They told me I deserve a second chance, even if I had serious credit problems.
Yes, they are helping me to get my new truck.
I was looking all over town.
And now I found the answer.
I got my car, merci.
Yes, you are approved. Advanced Auto Loans will help you too.
You've had credit problems. Now it's no problem. Call now and find out how to get behind the wheel of your next automobile. Call 1-800-869-5399.
Imagine that your television didn't have the capability to bring you live world events and business news 24 hours a day. Didn't have the capability for the movies and specials you love. The capability for the complete spectrum of sports. The capability for music, educational, and children's television. Imagine no capabilities. Television today might look like this. Cable is today's television.
Special friend to talk to, privately, one-to-one.
The good news is there's a special lady waiting to talk to you live right now.
Would you like some friendly advice from a woman's point of view?
Or a soft, soothing voice to make you feel better.
Call now. I'll be your special friend. Call now for live, private, one-on-one conversation. Dial 1-900-847-LIVE. That's 1-900-847-5483. 10 minutes of live adult talk, just $2.50 a minute. Adults only.
Welcome back to the University of Redlands. We've just finished the pregame introductions. We are going to take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's American Professional Soccer League showdown between the New Mexico Chiles and the California Emperors. Let's begin with the visiting New Mexico Chiles. Cook and Stenojevic up front. The midfielders Robertson and Roberts, Stedman, Dreyer, and the defenders Smith, Wiley, Foe, Rankin, and the goalie Jimmy DeRose. And on the other side of the field, we're going to take a look now at the California Emperors. The California Emperors starting lineups for tonight's game. Once again, going with Jerry O'Hara up front. The midfielders, Giovanni Perez, Kurt Allen, Mike Fox right behind O'Hara, Monty Reeves, Joe Giacalone, and the defenders, Alberto Brew, Billy Durkin, Richard Ryerson, Armando Seca, the goalie Chris Wilson, and Alex de Oliveira. The Emperor's Brazilian player is out tonight because of a red card he suffered in the last game, and joining me up in the booth, Dean Foley with his words on the starting matchup.
Well, the matchup tonight, New Mexico is a team, and I mean that in they're very team well-oriented. They play well together. They don't have one outstanding scorer, even though Chris Cook is a very good scorer. They play as a team, and they do very well. The Emperors, on the other hand, are losing De Oliveira again, but they got very good news before the game tonight. Lawrence Lozano will not need knee surgery. He's back. He's on the bench and able to play.
And, Dean, with those words, we're going to step aside for a quick 30-second commercial from American Airlines. And when we return to the University of Redlands, the first half of action, the California Emperors and the New Mexico Chiles, ready to begin this APSL showdown. We'll return to Ted Runner Stadium right after this.
Has a greater commitment to on-time dependability than American Airlines. And when an airline runs on time, it tells you that schedules are reliable, maintenance performance is impeccable, and that one airline is committed to being the very best. American Airlines, something special in the air.
What if I told you there's a woman waiting to talk to you right now? Not a tape recording, not a message machine, but a real live woman waiting to talk to you. And what if I told you she's beautiful, warm, and understanding, and she really cares how you feel? And what if I told you that all you had to do was pick up your phone and dial the number on your screen? Call the live line now.
10 minutes of adult talk, just $2.50 a minute, adults only.
I'm Bob Knoll. My official title is Head of Auto Testing for Consumer Reports magazine, but I really work for you. And there are over 200 people who work for you at Consumer Reports. We test and report on everything from toothpaste to TVs. Right now is a good time to try Consumer Reports because you can get a free trial issue with no strings attached. Here are the details.
Call now for your free trial issue of Consumer Reports, the magazine that gives you all the pros and cons of a product, including price. Call now for your free trial issue, then decide. When the bill arrives, pay it and get 11 more issues, 12 in all, including the annual buying guide issue, for just $20. Or write cancel on the bill and owe nothing. If you do subscribe, you'll also get 2 free gifts. The New Medicine Show, updated and revised, plus the 1990 buying guide issue.
So put Consumer Reports to work for you. Call now.
Call now for Consumer Reports. Call 1-800-822-6700. 1-800-822-6700.
Back at the University of Redlands, both teams right there at midfield. We've got the Emperors standing over the ball, Jerry O'Hara and Michael Fox. We're getting ready to start this APSL showdown. Both teams on the field. The officials are looking at their watches. The referee ready to blow his whistle to get things underway here at the University of Redlands. And Dean, looking back at this first confrontation between the Chiles and Emperors back on June 9th, you have to say the Emperors are going to be coming out here tonight ready to play.
The Emperors are very fired up. They felt that they controlled the game in New Mexico and lost on kind of a fluke, but it ended up to be that it really was a goal. It was just a mistake by goalie Ken Sinchek. Tonight they'll come out, they're going to be very aggressive. They know that they sit in the driver's seat here as far as their own fate. Let's see what happens with the action.
It's Armando Seca on the far side, getting the ball back to goalkeeper Chris Wilson. In the first half, the Emperors in their white jerseys and blue shorts will be going from our left to right, and the New Mexico Chiles in their hot red jerseys will be going from our right to left. That was Fox who got it back, and here comes Alberto Bru, number 15. Since that first game, June 9th, it's been a very productive road for the Chiles. They've gone from the bottom of this APSL West Southern Division to first place, and they're trying to put the clamps on Monty Reeves early in this game, and Joe Giacalone comes out to lend a helping hand, and Alberto Bru came up as well, and the ball's going to be lost here on the near touchline, but it looks like it's going to be still throw-in time for the Emperors. Bru into Jerry O'Hara. Bru 15, crossing it, headed out by New Mexico. And the Chiles will be setting up. The Emperors making it tough, forcing the ball out over the far side, and the Emperors are going to get another throw-in, Dean.
The Chiles front line of Stoyanovich and Chris Cook work very well technically together. I see that they pulled Will Stedman up into the midfield from the back line like he was when we played in Albuquerque. This should give them an outside shot. Stedman has got an outstanding foot and can create a lot of stuff from the back line coming up. He's also very tough defensively. I look for a physical game. These two teams, I would say, don't really like each other too much. There were some hard feelings in New Mexico, but maybe things have passed. We'll just have to see as the game progresses if it's going to be a physical game like the Emperors have been playing recently.
On the far side, this is Mike Fox. Setting up, and Kurt Allen streaking in front. New Mexico defensively. Fox brings it in. Several players are there. O'Hara, the header, but goalkeeper DeRose there to get his hands on it. And the California Emperors with a good chance there early as we look at Dave Carr, the head coach for this New Mexico Chiles team, that on that play there kept California out of the goal, but Dean just barely.
Oh, that Jimmy DeRose is an excellent goalie. He played a big part in that game in Albuquerque against us, against the California Emperors, that is, and he made some outstanding saves, and I look for it again tonight. He's had a great season.
Both teams moving the ball around. That was Allen for California, and a little bump on the ball, and now New Mexico is going to track it down. Again, California stopping the Chiles drive, but New Mexico comes through. Foul there on the play against Armando Seca. Rildo Meneses, the head coach for the California Emperors, hoping to guide his team to the playoffs this season. They have 5 more games ahead, including tonight's contest. 10 points between the Emperors in first place. So time for the Emperors to get down to business, continue their winning streak, and continue their optimism, looking towards the playoffs. Cross came in there, and this is Fox. New Mexico in front, but the Emperors get it back to goalkeeper Chris Wilson, who dishes it out to the far side, and Armando Seca.
One thing that was stressed in the Emperors camp this week again was not to give the early goal up like they've been in the habit of doing the last few games. It's to go out and create things on themselves. Jerry O'Hara, Monty Reeves, one-touching the ball instead of bringing down the ball and trying to play with it in the front. The one-touch kick, such as good NBA coaches tell their big men in the center. You don't put the ball on the floor, you just take it right to the goal.
DeRose comes back out, and he'll be setting his team up. Another large crowd on hand here at the Ted Runner Stadium at the University of Redlands. The California Emperors during their final homestand of 1990. 2 games in 3 days. The Emperors, right now, the first few moments of this game with New Mexico will be looking to Real Santa Barbara on Sunday, and 2 very important games for the Emperors. A couple victories, and this California Emperor team could be sitting atop the APSL Western Conference Southern Division. But right now, California thinking about no other team than this New Mexico Chile squad. Foul again called against California. You see Jerry O'Hara, one of the local products on this team. The officials for tonight's game, the people that'll be making sure this game stays in line: Roberto Van de Weingard, Adrian Villegas, Mark Wolf, and Barry Jamieson, the alternate. Chris Wilson making another start for the California Emperors, and a tremendous performance he had last week against Seattle, stopping 2 penalty kicks during the extra penalty kick competition that went on to decide the outcome of the APSL showdown between the Emperors and Storm. And Chris Wilson said after the game last weekend that it was a very intense situation to be in. Those penalty kicks, Dean, are something that are exciting to see from our perspective, but if you're a goalkeeper, I guess it's something that you don't like to be involved in too often.
Well, no, you know, a penalty kick usually means that somebody's been taken down in the box, not to decide a game. It's a 50-50 chance. It's a crapshoot. Any good goalie will tell you that it's not really, it's more luck than skill that gets the goal kick saved. Or actually the penalty kick, I'm sorry.
New Mexico again on the far side. That was Cook. He goes down, and now it's going to be time for Will Stedman to set up here. He comes over, and it looks like his teammates are going to bring the ball in, and it comes in high, and several players are there. The header, but Wilson in position. And he'll be bringing this out, looking for Monty Reeves.
Interesting play there by Wilson with the low driving kick to get it up to Monty Reeves to possibly start a fast break. I think it took Monty by surprise a little bit. That's another thing that Wilson's been doing very effectively, is distributing the ball quickly after the shot.
Mike Fox right into Vladi, number 17 for New Mexico. Vladi Zenojevic, one of the forwards playing up front here for this New Mexico team. Durkin over to Brew, Alberto Brew, and this is Durkin as the Emperors look to bring it across midfield. Fox off of New Mexico, and now New Mexico coming down. That was Dreyer, number 11, crossing it nicely, and New Mexico shoots. A little bit high, a little bit wide. Chris Cook, though, got a good foot on that ball, Dean, and just slipped by.
Well, that was an outstanding opportunity for the New Mexico Chiles. Mike Fox just mishandled the ball a little bit. They took it down, got it to the open man on the far side. That means that the Emperors are starting to come across in the middle a little bit more. Here's the replay. You see he brings it down, Chris Wilson comes out to cut off the angle. He just gets a little bit high, drives it right through the football post.
We saw Mike Fox a few moments ago, and earlier this afternoon we had a chance to talk with Mike Fox, one of the veteran players on this California Emperor team, and we talked to Mike Fox not only about the California Emperors and their chances at going to the playoffs, but also about the game tonight. Exactly what is in store here on the field for both the Emperors and the New Mexico Chiles.
Win always does that for you. The coaches are in better mood and therefore allows the players to have a better time at practice, and it's good. That's what you need to have in practice, but when it comes time for the game, you got to get serious and get down to business and do what you have to do to win.
Looking at tonight's matchup between the Emperors and New Mexico, California definitely is going to be coming out trying to avenge the loss, the controversial loss back on June 9th in New Mexico.
Yeah, that was a tough loss for us, and everybody left that stadium feeling pretty bad, pretty down, and this is a chance to kind of get rid of some of that bad feeling that we had leaving that field.
And back to the action, another foul on the play in New Mexico. Still maintaining possession here. Early on, it's a 0-0 deadlocked. The New Mexico Chiles and California Emperors, and Dwyer, number 11, again crossing it, again looking up front. Good job of marking there by Billy Durkin. The ball out over the far touchline, and it's going to go still in favor of New Mexico.
New Mexico's playing a very, very strong pressure front offensively. They're going to Armando Ceja's side and running wide. I think he's getting sucked in a little bit on the outside. He needs to widen out and play his game, which is a good, tough defense.
Throw in for New Mexico, but Chris Wilson quickly comes out, gets his hand on the ball, and it's going to be time now for this California Emperor team to come down and try to get these zeros off of the scoreboard. New Mexico quickly setting up. Vladi losing the ball there. Another foul called. Joe Giacalone called with the foul, and it's going to be time now for New Mexico to set up here offensively again.
Well, watch out for this. All the teams have been watching the Emperors and obviously scouting that they flood one side and just kind of chip it over. It works very well against the Emperor's defense and leaves men open.
Chris Foe, number 18, shot the ball, but it was well wide of the goal, and it's going to be time now for the California Emperors to be setting up here, coming out and bringing this ball, hopefully, into the New Mexico Chiles net. We mentioned, Dean, during our Acura Riverside pregame show about the youth games that go on prior to every California Emperor youth game, and there's a whole string of California Emperor youth soccer camps coming up this summer. In fact, those soccer camps begin August 6th right here in Redlands, California. Octavio Zambrano, the youth director for the California Emperors, will be directing those youth camps, and we'll be hearing from Octavio with another installment of his soccer tips a little bit later in this first half. The ball out again over the far touchline, and for the past few minutes, Dean, New Mexico seems to be keeping this ball here in the Emperor's side of the field.
Well, definitely, and I think it's a little bit of sloppy play on the Emperor's part, but New Mexico's putting on some very good pressure, and they're passing the ball well in between them.
See Kurt Allen there, who had that great goal against San Diego a few weeks ago. Monty Reeves battling for possession, but only to lose it to New Mexico. That's Armando Ceja. Getting it back, and Ryerson now brings it across midfield, looking up front for Jerry O'Hara, but O'Hara just with not the speed that he wished he had, and New Mexico getting it back, largely number 18 Foe getting it back to goalkeeper Jimmy DeRose. And New Mexico again will be bringing this ball out, and you saw that low angle shot from behind DeRose. What he's seeing is this APSL showdown continues. Giovanni Perez getting it back to Ceja. Armando going up now to Monty Reeves. Reeves to Perez, looking again to Reeves, but the Emperors again, Dean, giving that ball away.
Well, it's not the Emperor's game. They're crowding themselves on the sideline and not allowing it to open up, and that's being caused by dribbling too much by the individual player. They need to spread out the field, widen out, one-touch passing, not go for the deep bomb to the forwards, but just get it up to him in a one-touch style. But they need to get the ball to Mike Fox for that to happen. Once again, he's the quarterback of this team.
Up in the press box, it's a very packed press box. We've got a lot of working media, and among the media on hand tonight, KDIF, the official Spanish voice, and let's check in here briefly and hear exactly how Diego de Jesus is calling it for the mics of KDIF.
Giovanni Pérez por el lado izquierdo. Le manda un pase triangular para Fax. Fax para Ceja. Ceja lo manda con la izquierda, muy adelante. Lo pierde los Emperadores. La recupera una vez más. Giacalone. Le manda la pelota hasta donde se encuentra Kurt Allen. Ya se metieron dentro del área grande. Están tratando de sacar ese balón porque se ponen peligrosamente la acción. La despeja en la línea defensiva y es Armando Ceja quien la recibe una vez más. Ya en terreno de los Emperadores. Para donde se encuentra Giovanni Pérez.
And back to live English action. We just heard from Diego de Jesus, the official Spanish voice, and now we've got the Emperors on the run. Ryerson getting it to Monty Reeves, over to Brew. Brew crossing it off the back of Monty Reeves, and Monty Reeves perhaps had one step too many coming down there. A little bit back, he would have been in great position, but this is Kurt Allen chipping the ball across, and it's Ryerson, the header, but not enough steam, and DeRose comes out, Dean, and gets his hands on that one safely.
Well, that was some good action there by the Emperors. That's exactly what you want to see them doing. They're creating opportunities where one-touch passing will get them the open shot. Rich Ryerson didn't know exactly how much of the ball the defender from New Mexico was going to get, so he tried to put it with the head. Otherwise, he would have tried the one-touch shot on goal, but that's excellent play by the Emperors right there.
DeRose bringing that ball well across midfield, and his team has to back up a little bit, but still New Mexico maintaining it. Brew's got his job worked out for him. Good sliding tackle, forcing that ball out over the near touch line, and Alberto Brew, AB, playing heads-up defense. He's done a great job here the past few weeks, keeping the Emperors on top of both San Diego and Seattle. Two very key victories when you look at this race to the playoffs of the 1990 season, because if the Emperors had not won those two games, who knows how many points. Back to shot, but that's off the near side. Wilson came over and it just slipped by, and New Mexico with probably 3 hard shots so far on goal, but none of them have gotten in close. But so far, Dean, no cigar.
Well, that's Will Stedman, and that's the shot I was talking about earlier in the game. The Emperors have got to be very careful, because that's the shot that they scored that won the game in Albuquerque. They won't wait to pass the ball in. They'll take the shot from outside the 18-yard line, and they've got some real boomers on this team that can really blast the ball. Chris Wilson can't get caught out of position, or else it's going to be a long evening.
This is Joe Giacalone, but he was triple teamed, if you will. Mike Fox now setting up. Mike Fox definitely will play the field leader role, as he has done during just about every game since he joined this California Emperor team a few months ago. This is Ceja, chipping it high, bringing it across, looking for both O'Hara and Giacalone, and the Emperors lose it, and with both teams staying scoreless right now, the Emperors are hoping to get something going here offensively.
Well, that was a nice idea by Armando Ceja. He saw Joe Giacalone was open for a little run. That's good thinking, but, you know, once again, sometimes he needs to diversify and bring the ball down the line to Kurt Allen, maybe making a run on the right side.
Mike Fox, a great move. He shoots, but that's to the near side. And, Dean, a few moments ago, we were talking about the California Emperors youth summer camps, and youngsters from around the area interested in calling for information can call the California Emperors office in Redlands, California. You see the number there on the screen, 714-335-2963. And as we mentioned, Octavio Zambrano, the youth director for the California Emperors, will be in charge of the camps. Earlier this afternoon, he had his first installment for us, Youth Soccer Tip.
Dave, with me are the California Emperors 1977 youth players, and they are going to help me demonstrate one of the basic skills of soccer, the skill of shooting. There are two basic ways of striking the ball: shooting for accuracy and shooting for power. Let's demonstrate shooting for accuracy. Go ahead, Milton. You shoot for accuracy when you want to either chip the ball over the goalie's head, or when you want to hit the ball around the wall in a free kick situation. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks very much, Octavio, and we're back here to the action, and you see Joe Giacalone getting back up on his feet. He went down momentarily while we were listening to that instructional tip by the Emperor's youth director and their director of summer camps, Octavio Zambrano, and we'll be having another youth instructional tip coming up during our halftime show right here during our coverage of the California Emperors. Throw in here by Wiley. No one there but Emperors, and Armando Ceja getting it up in the vicinity of Monty Reeves, but Reeves loses it on the far side, and Dina, looks like Monty Reeves is getting off to a little bit of a slow start.
Oh, that's not a bad sign for Monty Reeves. He usually has the butterflies in the beginning of the game. It's when he really gets it in gear and is able to use his speed when the defenders are starting to get tired in the second half that he's most effective. That doesn't bother the Emperors at all that he gets off to a slow start. But they're battling and they're playing good. But New Mexico plays a very good game of soccer here. Their coach Dave Carr should be proud of his inaugural season here.
We've seen Monty Reeves utilize that speed many times before. The goal that he had here, giving California the victory, couldn't have come at a better time against San Diego. And this is New Mexico now. Watching the Emperors take over as Allen got it back to Richard Ryerson. Out to the far side. Armando Ceja, number 5. Trying to cross it in over the head of our Monty Reeves, and California setting up here again. This is Fox. Out to Ryerson. Giovanni Perez. And New Mexico. And California sets up here again. Monty Reeves, though, again, has the ball taken away.
Held the ball just a little bit too long there on both Giovanni and Monty, but that was a good opportunity. Two very young players for the Emperors showing their ability to work with each other.
California here. Alberto Bru. And Mike Fox. Going again for Monty Reeves, and Reeves heading it over to Joe Giacalone. Ceja watching Giovanni Perez make his move to Allen. Allen back up to Perez. Perez is over. Offsides called. And it's going to be turned over now here, Dean, to New Mexico.
Well, that's a good opportunity. The Emperors are starting to get back into their game. I think at the beginning they were initially wanting to go out and just go after the New Mexico Chiles. Now they've settled down. They've come back into their game. I look for a very good battle tonight. This is going to be a good game. You can tell from right now that the action's there.
DeRose, Jimmy DeRose. And a goal for New Mexico. This one comes out high and well across the center circle, but whistle, and it's going back now to the California Emperors. Ryerson chipping it up front. Jerry O'Hara fouled from behind. And number 15, Renkin. This is Fox looking up to the corner. This is Alberto Bru coming in. Lost over the goal line, and corner kick for California. And Dean, you know that means Mike Fox coming over into position.
Well, just like every week, we'll say it again this week, that the Emperors have been working on their corner kicks and free kicks, and they're still looking for that goal.
Not only have they been working on those free kicks and corner kicks, but also their penalty kicks. Yesterday at practice, they were ending practice with several, and this...
Joe Giacalone, goal number 1 for the San Diego Products. He puts it in, putting it past the Rose, and the
California Emperors have jumped on the scoreboard, leading this game 1-0 in this crowd that's come out to Ted Runner Stadium. They love to see that. They want to see more, and what a goal it was for Joe Giacalone. The replay, Dean, you call it.
Oh, that was just a beautiful shot by Joe Giacalone, left footer, one touch, put it high up into the far corner. Road to Rose, that was a no-doubter. Dave blinked his eyes, the ball was in the back of the net. Joe Giacalone gets his first goal as an Emperor. He had a feeling that he was going to score the goal. It's the intangibles on this team that are going to get him in the playoffs. Not the Mike Foxes, not the Monty Reeves, the intangible players, the Joe Giacalones and Kurt Allens that have been coming through the last 3 weeks for him.
That goal coming officially 22 minutes into this game, and what a time for us to take a commercial break. A chance for Dean and I to get our breath back, and when we return to the University of Redlands, it'll be the California Emperors leading the New Mexico Chiles by nothing. Still plenty more first half action ahead during this APSL showdown. We'll be back right after this brief commercial timeout.
Spiking, diving, smashing, digging, scoring, jamming. Your PE teacher definitely didn't have this in mind. It's the big money, big action, big time world of pro beach volleyball. Coming your way Wednesday at 8 on Prime Ticket.
Gentlemen, start your engines! Start your engines for Prime Tickets. Thursday Night Lightning. Be in the driver's seat from Indianapolis and Daytona to Ascot, Baja, and beyond. To catch the slamming shots, the bumps and bodies, the wall busters, and the heartbreakers of the really exciting world of racing. So make a pit stop for the night that's really smoking and see the lightning before you hear the thunder on Thursday Night Lightning.
The best will be playing. The best will be watching. The best will be covering one of the best tournaments on the men's tour. It's Volvo Tennis. It's to your advantage Friday at 7, live on Prime Ticket.
Back at the University of Redlands, the ball's in play. New Mexico and California knocking it around, and Dean, a great way for the California Emperors to get their first goal.
Yeah, that was, and that's Joe Giacalone's first goal of the year. He took the loose ball, came up, and it's exactly what Joe Giacalone's job description is during the game. He's to come up with the loose ball and counterattack with the shot on goal. He did it. It was a beautiful shot and a beautiful goal, and Joe Giacalone showing what he's all about.
California Emperors have taken a 1-0 lead in this game, and they led early in New Mexico. Back on June 9th, New Mexico fought back, tied the game, and Dave Carr and company went on to win that game by a final score of 2-1 in overtime. And tonight, the California Emperors, for the second straight time against New Mexico, have taken the early lead, and this time they hope that they can continue. California coming on the drive again. This is Fox crossing it to Reeves. Goal! Number 2 for California. Monty Reeves and company getting it into the net, and it looks like that is going to be another goal. The crowd is appreciating this early offensive effort, Dean, by the California Emperors. 2-0 on the board. Right now, New Mexico can't believe it. They're questioning it, but Dean, you're going to describe it.
Beautiful pass by Mike Fox right over the defensive heads. The goalie came out to try and cut down the angle. Monty Reeves just simply out-jumped him, put the ball behind him. Beautiful pass by Mike Fox. Close call on the offsides. The referee didn't make the call. Play the ball, not the call, as I always say. Emperors ahead 2-0.
And that goal by Monty Reeves coming 25 minutes, 26 seconds into this first half. And before you know it, it's now 2-0 in favor of the California Emperors. And California, after getting a bit of a slow start in this game, has come back. And, hey, they've gotten the goals, and that's what we're going to be looking at after this game in terms of what happened on the scoreboard. A whistle there, and it's going to go again against New Mexico. And California and Chris Wilson will be setting up here and coming back again offensively. And Dean, who knows? When are we going to see another Emperor goal?
Well, yeah, or when are we going to see a New Mexico goal? They're a good team, and they wouldn't be in first place for any reason. They've had some opportunities tonight, too, and they're going to come back on a counterattack real quick.
New Mexico, like you said, coming right back on the attack, and foul call there, and the official coming over to have a word or two with Mike Fox. And it's going to be New Mexico setting up here for the free kick. Mike Fox, number 14. Kurt Allen, Alberto Bru, Joe Giacalone, Jerry O'Hara rounding out the wall. We saw the official come over and talk to Mike Fox, and an interesting note there as a shot comes in over the top. And it's going to be coming back now, goal kick for Chris Wilson, as Chris Foe fired that one with some strength. We're mentioning the official talking to Mike Fox, and Fox at this point, Dean, is lucky that the official did not pull out the yellow card, because up to now Fox has 4 yellow cards during the season. League rules, 5 yellow cards, you sit out the game and pay a $50 fine.
Yeah, and that's something that the Emperors could not afford during this playoff stretch drive. Mike Fox realized it before the game that he's got to keep his temper down a little bit. But it's not really his temper that's getting him in trouble. It's that aggressive play of his.
You see the Emperors in their white and blue outfits, and Lacho is the official uniform supplier of the Emperors. And during the next dead ball situation, we're going to step aside for a brief 30-second word from Lacho, the official uniform supplier of this Emperor team. But right now it's Wilson bringing the ball out. Fox to Giacalone, back to Bru, and Bru chips it up high, looking for Monty Reeves. Monty Reeves getting it through New Mexico. Fox again. Fox back to Giacalone. Giacalone driving. He collides, goes up, goes down, and we may see a foul called there. The official coming over, and Giacalone still rolling around. John Rankin apparently called with the foul. Fox coming over. And we're going to step aside for a brief 30-second commercial break from Lacho, the official equipment supplier of the California Emperors. We'll return to the University of Redlands, where the score right now is 2-0 in favor of California. More pro soccer when we return. The Lacho Copa Select, #1 in soccer shoes and #1 for the pros. When the world's best show up at the World Cup, you can be assured Lacho won't miss a kick. The soccer difference, Lacho Copa Select, the leader in soccer footwear. Lacho equipment's available throughout Southern California, Chick Sporting Goods, Covina, Upland, Laguna Hills, Yorba Linda, Oceanside, and the Tustin Marketplace. Lacho, a world champion. Back at the University of Redlands, California still maintaining the ball, but New Mexico forcing the California side out over the far touchline, and it looks like it's going to go against the Emperors. Giovanni Perez apparently touching that ball last in the Chiles. Trailing 2-0 at this point. Dean will be coming back with the throw-in.
Well, they've got to put on an offensive show now to get back in this game. And the Emperors are leading early, but there's still so much time left in this game. And we've seen in the past that teams come back numerous times against the Emperors have come back, and teams have come back against them, so it should be a wide open game.
New Mexico putting the ball back in play, and Armando Ceja there. And the Emperors, with about 15 minutes to go in this first half, are going to get the ball back to goalkeeper Chris Wilson. Allen, Kurt Allen, comes down, looking for someone, Giacalone there, but it's New Mexico. Mike Fox now. A victory tonight, and we can see this California Emperor team move rather quickly up the APSL Western Conference Southern Division standings. If the Emperors can win this game in either regulation play or overtime at this point, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but they could win 8 points. That is, if they don't score another goal, and 8 points right now will put the California Emperors right in the middle of this pack, and they've got another game coming up Sunday, and then 3 more games to round out the regular season. And we can see this Emperor team continue to climb up the standings.
Yeah, and it's a testament to the Emperors as a team that they started off 0-6. They came back, they won some games in a row. They're battlers, and they're showing that they got a lot of heart and a lot of character. And the fans of the Emperors are showing their loyalty by coming out like this numbers on a Friday night when the traffic's so horrible out here. You know, it's a great feeling for Emperor management that this is really something that is going in the right direction.
There's got to be close to 3,000 spectators on hand here tonight at this beautiful Ted Runner Stadium on the campus of the University of Redlands. It's a beautiful evening for soccer. It was hot this afternoon, but it's cooled down considerably, and these players, I'm sure, are appreciative to that. The free kick for New Mexico. They go out to the far wing there. Broken up by California. And it'll be corner kick time for the Chiles.
The field's something we've talked about numerous times, Dave, and I think hats off has to go to John Fouts of University of Redlands. He's an assistant coach with the football team, the running back coach. He is responsible for this field, and as you can see, he just takes great care of it. He has manicured this thing perfectly.
That cross came in there, the corner kick, Dean, right over everybody's head, and it's going to be out over the near touch line. And you were saying?
Well, I just think that it's really great for a Division III school like this to have such a field with this magnitude that's been called the best field in the APSL Western Division.
Again, the Emperor's coming to Reeves, but now New Mexico is trying to get this ball down, only to watch California and company dribble it back to Chris Wilson. Wilson coming over to Mike Fox. This game looking like a running game with a lot of through balls and crosses rather than short passes so far, Dean.
Oh, yeah, and I think that's because the Emperors have seen something that Monty Reeves has got an advantage over one of the defenders, maybe the sweeper or the stopper, that he's going to have problems with his speed. So they'll go to that, and like I said before, the teams that have not seen Monty Reeves do not realize how fast he is, and he doesn't look fast because he's not a jitterbug type. He's got the long strides, but you know, this guy's got legitimate speed, and New Mexico didn't see him in New Mexico.
You hit it right on the money when you said, who cares if he gets off to a slow start, he's going to produce, and we saw Monty Reeves produce, and he produced right at a good time, giving the Emperors a little bit of cushion here in the first half. About 11 minutes to go in this first 45 minutes of regulation play. The Emperors on the scoreboard right now, leading the New Mexico Chiles 2-0. Wilson going out to Armando Ceja. Ceja now brings it in low, looking for Jerry O'Hara, but New Mexico gets the ball back, and the Chiles bring it across into Emperor territory again, through everyone, and back to goalkeeper Chris Wilson.
Well, the Chiles have a couple guys on their bench that caused the Emperors some problems the first matchup. Rod Underwood, who's a forward, very fast guy out of Furman, caused the Emperors some problems up in Albuquerque, and I wouldn't be surprised that him and Ignacio Baez maybe see some action in the second half if things don't start rolling for the Chiles here.
Ignacio Baez started during that Chiles game with the Emperors back on June 9th, and Dave Carr, after talking with him before the game, said that he will be utilizing Ignacio most likely. Ignacio Baez, watch for him, number 9. Jerry O'Hara just powering his way past everybody. A nice cross, looking for Monty Reeves. Reeves tripped up from behind. That could have gone either way because New Mexico was right there and got him from the back.
Oh, yeah, Monty Reeves, they've obviously seen his speed. He just blasted past a couple guys there, and they just took him down like the WWF from the back. Happened last week against Seattle, too. I think he's starting to get a name around the league.
The Emperor's looking for a penalty to be called in that play, but the official not acknowledging those words, and it's going to be throw-in now for New Mexico on the far side as Ryerson and Allen and Durkin and company prepare to set up here defensively.
Unless it's blatant, it doesn't seem like in this league with the referees that you're going to get the call. It has to be a blatant foul, and if it's a matter of pulling a jersey and a little acting done on the player's part, I don't think they're gonna fall for it.
So very true, but as we've seen so many times, these players don't give up. They want something, they will talk with that official. Throw in on the far side. That was Wiley, Kevin Wiley, getting it in, and some headers around, and New Mexico again turned away, Dean, empty-handed.
Yeah, but that once again, they're creating their own opportunities, and they do have opportunities down there. They're getting the ball in the middle and getting shots on goal. The Emperors are going to have to increase their defensive pressure on the forwards and not let them play with the ball in front of the net like that.
This is Chris Wilson, and while Wilson sets up, we're going to step aside for a brief 30-second commercial timeout. And when we return to this University of Redlands Stadium, we're going to have more first-half action. Right now, the California Emperors leading the New Mexico Chiles by a score of 2-0. We'll be back to Ted Runner Stadium right after this brief commercial timeout. World-class coaches, World Cup players teaching you the skills of soccer that have made them famous. That's right, you can join hundreds of youngsters during the hottest summer camp around, the California Emperors World Cup Summer Soccer Camps, beginning in August. 5-day day sessions for all ages at Kimberly Elementary School in Redlands, the heart of the Inland Empire. For more information, call the Emperor's office, 714-335-2963. And remember, one way to be the best is to learn from the best. The 1990 California Emperors World Cup Soccer Camps, beginning in August. We've still got 2 on the board for the California Emperors, nothing for New Mexico, and we've got about 7.5 minutes to go in this first 45 minutes of regulation time, and if things stay the way they are, it's going to be a 2-0 halftime lead for the California Emperors. And Dean, you were saying during the commercial break, it looks a lot like the Emperors game with the Blackhawks here back on June 3rd.
Well, I meant it in the way that they scored such quick goals back-to-back. The Emperors did that against the Blackhawks and seemed to pour it on a little bit more, but New Mexico's battled back nicely here.
This is New Mexico again, and now California getting it back. And we heard from Diego de Jesus earlier in this first half, and in a couple minutes we're going to be checking back in with Diego in the Spanish voice via KDIF 1440 AM. Right now it's New Mexico here, and Monty Reeves battling, and it's the Emperors that get the better of it as California moves into New Mexico territory. This ball coming up again. Giacalone set up, but now it's over to Giacalone's side, and New Mexico brings it out over the near touchline. And we mentioned Diego de Jesus and company broadcasting this game, and let's again check in with Diego and hear the Spanish voice of the Emperors.
Burla un enemigo. Manda la pelota diagonalmente hasta Ceja por el lado izquierdo. Ceja una vez más al centro. El cabezazo de O'Hara. Muy alto de la portería que defiende el portero Gil de Rose. Y los comentarios en la diferencia 14:40, la emisora deportiva del Valle, Jorge Legaspi.
Estamos a los 40 minutos del primer tiempo. Y tal parece que hasta ahí...
And it's time for DeRose and his New Mexico Chiles to set up here for the goal kick. Trailing by 2. New Mexico knows it's got to start mustering something up offensively here, because this Emperor team right now, even though there's still plenty of time to go, about 5.5 minutes in the first half and then 45 more minutes of regulation, the Emperors sitting in the driver's seat, if you will, Dean.
Somewhat, yeah, I agree with you on that, Dave. That's a good point. The Emperors have to be careful with a little time left that they don't get lackadaisical and make a mistake on the back line by passing back to Wilson. I can see that now every time they turn back and are about to pass back to Wilson, the forward on the far side is coming across, anticipating the pass, and Alberto Bru's a smart enough player to know to pull it back up and go up the line.
New Mexico again coming back. Right at about midfield. It's Dwyer, number 11, but Monty Reeves showing his quickness. Stepped right in there and managed to get that ball back to Chris Wilson. This is Alberto Bru. The Emperors obviously slowing this game down a bit. The clock at about 2.5 minutes away from the 2-minute remaining mark. New Mexico now going across. Giovanni Perez quickly there defensively for the Emperors, and New Mexico gets it back to goalkeeper DeRose. DeRose brings it out. The clock continues to tick down, and that ball continues to bounce around out over the far touchline as we look at Armando Ceja, number 5, and his team, the Emperors, leading New Mexico at this point 2-0, but still a lot of time to go. This is Fox, the field leader for the California Emperors, coming over to the streaking Alberto Bru, AB. Durkin beating his New Mexico counterpart. Vladi, number 17. Stanojevic. Monty Monty Reeves now. Monty Reeves is on fire. Tripped up again by New Mexico. The Chiles, every time Monty has the ball, Dean, they come down hard, and they swarm on Mr. Monty Reeves.
Well, anytime you've got a speed player, he's usually a finesse player, even though Monty's built pretty well. They're going to put some bodies on him. They're going to put some pressure on him, play real physical, try and slow him down, because if you keep on hitting someone, sooner or later the speed's going to wear down a little bit, and I think that's what they've decided to use as a tactic with Monty Reeves.
You can hear the crowd getting behind this Emperor team. They're rocking the stadium, and so far the Emperors have been rocking the scoreboard. They've put 2 goals on the board in this first half. New Mexico so far has not managed to get on the board, and we're about 2.5 minutes to go in this first half. Every time California comes down, it doesn't look like that New Mexico defense can adjust fast enough, and the Emperors, as of late, have been coming down and dominating things on this New Mexico side of the field. Alberto Bru and the foul called. Armando Ceja and Kurt Allen, you see him on the near ground, and it's going to be time for New Mexico to set up here. New Mexico. Chiles bring it in, but California is there, and Kurt Allen there. Dean, looking at this final couple minutes here, California definitely slowing things down.
Yeah, definitely they are slowing things down. They want to go into the locker room with a 2-0 lead. But California's transitions from defense to offense have been the key to this game so far. They're looking very quickly up front for their forwards. Joe Giacalone is making nice runs down the side. And I think that New Mexico's defense is really having problems adjusting to this quick transaction and counterattack by California.
California setting up here for the free kick.
Step up! Step! Step! Step and hold! Step and hold! Yeah, good. Let him.
And New Mexico comes down on the run, and Billy Durkin. Kurt Allen. New Mexico setting up here. The clock has stopped at 2 minutes, so we're probably about a minute away from halftime, and after our obligatory break following this first 45 minutes, we'll be going into halftime, and those kids, the Lasers, representing the Inland Empire area, and they're out here in force tonight along with a lot of youth. And Dean, a commitment to youth is something that this team has been behind since the beginning.
Well, the youth is the backbone of the California Emperors, and
New Mexico, good job there of marking, and there you have the end of the first half. On the scoreboard, we've got the California Emperors continuing to lead the New Mexico Chiles by a score of 2-0. Right after this brief commercial timeout, it'll be our halftime report as our coverage of the California Emperors and the American Professional Soccer League continues from the University of Redlands.
Has a greater commitment to on-time dependability than American Airlines. And when an airline runs on time, it tells you that schedules are reliable, maintenance is impeccable, and that one airline is committed to being the very best. American Airlines, something special in the air.
Big Brother program gives you the chance to help a fatherless boy. Give him someone to talk to. Be his friend. A few hours a week is all you're asked to spend with your little brother. They could be the best hours of your week or the emptiest in his. Call now.
Entrepreneur Magazine, the small business authority, is making you a terrific offer. This handsome soft-side briefcase is yours free with your paid subscription to Entrepreneur Magazine. Entrepreneur Magazine is your guide to succeeding in the exciting world of business. You'll discover how people just like you have made it as their own boss and now enjoy the financial rewards that only owning a business can offer. And once you're in business, each exciting issue brings you inside information that keeps you on course. A full year of Entrepreneur Magazine is only $19.97. That's almost 50% off the newsstand price. And along with your paid subscription, you get the handsome soft-side briefcase absolutely free. Order now. Entrepreneur Magazine, the small business authority, is your guide to business success.
Call us toll-free at 1-800-227-1900. Order a full year of Entrepreneur Magazine and get the handsome soft-side briefcase absolutely free. Call 1-800-227-1900 right now.
Catch a wave with Prime Ticket.
Whoa. Back at the University of Redlands, welcome to our Soccer International halftime report. On the board, the California Emperors continuing to lead the New Mexico Chiles 2-0. Both teams right now in the locker room and on the field. We've got a juggling contest going on for local youth players. The California Emperors, again, keeping their commitment to youth. What a first half it was for the California Emperors. 2 goals for the Emperors in the span of probably 5 minutes. The first goal coming 22 minutes into the game, and then the second goal coming just a few moments later. At the 25-minute mark, it was Monty Reeves eventually coming up and putting the ball past goalkeeper Jimmy DeRose for New Mexico. Monty Reeves again finding the net, beating the New Mexico Chiles defense and putting the California Emperors in front here by a score of 2-0. Both teams continue their halftime preparations, their talks with the coaches, and during our Soccer International halftime report, let's talk to some of the youngsters here and see exactly what they think of the California Emperors. Your favorite player? Your favorite player?
Monty.
Who's your favorite California Emperor player?
Monty Reeves.
Monty Reeves, he scored the goal. Was it a good first half goal?
Yep. Yeah.
You play soccer locally here?
Yeah.
For which team?
Altaloma Arsenal.
Altaloma, just some of the youth players here that have turned out for this California Emperor team, and there must be upwards of 3,000 spectators here for one of the final home games of 1990 for the California Emperors. We're going to step aside for a brief commercial break from Soccer International, and when we return to the University of Redlands, more of our Soccer International halftime report right here on the Prime Ticket Network.
International soccer comes Soccer International. North America's fastest growing full-color soccer monthly brings alive a world of great soccer action. Every month, through 70 pages of stunning photography, revealing graphics and incisive commentary, Soccer International brings you international spotlight, star player profiles, coaching and refereeing tips, North American soccer report, and more. 12 issues, only $22.95. Soccer International. Subscribe today and save over 30% of the normal cover price. Call 1-800-448-3232. Credit cards welcome, or send check or money order to Soccer International. P.O. Box 246, Artesia, California, 90702-0246.
Back here during our Soccer International halftime report, the juggling contest for local youth is continuing, and tonight happens to be Mountain View Soccer League Day right here during the California Emperors game with the New Mexico Chiles. And speaking of the Mountain View Soccer League, we've got 2 of the representatives from that league with us now, Mike Castaglio, the current president, and Vince Mirabella, the current vice president. And tell me, this California Emperor team turning things on here in the first half.
Dave, we've got a good future in this club. We're happy to have it in our neighborhood.
Mike, and tell us a little bit about your league, the Mountain View Soccer League. Thousands of kids competing in soccer throughout this area in Mountain View, a very strong competitive league.
We have approximately 3,000 players in the league of about 165 teams. The league covers San Bernardino, Riverside counties, and probably the east end of Los Angeles County.
Gentlemen, thanks for being with us. Good luck the rest of the season with your youth leagues coming up, and I'm sure the Emperors are glad to have you a part here tonight.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Mike Castaglio and Vince Mirabella, 2 representatives for the California Emperors. Now we mentioned the youth players. It's only fitting to hear from our youth director, the California Emperors youth director, Octavio Zambrano. Earlier this afternoon, he taped this installment of his California Emperors youth soccer instructional tip. Octavio, take it away.
We're back, Dave, and now we're going to show you how to shoot for power. There are a few items that you have to remember when you're shooting for power. You have to have your support leg next to the ball. You have to be looking at the ball, leaning forward with your knee over the ball and striking it with the instep. Let's demonstrate. Back to you, Dave.
Both teams, the California Emperors and the New Mexico Chiles, coming back onto the field for the start of this second half. And with me now, Dean Foley. And Dean, looking at this second half, the California Emperors leading 2-0. New Mexico has got to get something going, and they've got to get something going quick.
Well, I look for New Mexico to make a couple changes, maybe bring in Underwood and try and put some pressure up in front. The Emperors cannot get complacent and just play with the 2-0 lead. They know that this is their destiny. They need to win. They need as many points as they can because the other teams in the league just keep on mixing things up.
Should be an exciting second half. We're going to be with you right here during our coverage of the California Emperors and the American Professional Soccer League on the Prime Ticket Network. That's it for this edition of our Soccer International Halftime Report. And when we return to the University of Redlands, the second half, the California Emperors going for victory number 3 in a row. We'll be back with the final 45 minutes right after this.
A completely new product line was introduced. Automobiles built for people who love the sheer joy of driving. A new sales, service, and parts organization was also developed. One that gave buyers a purchase and ownership experience second to none. Today, that early goal has been and a new benchmark established. The 1990 Acura Legend and the Acura dealership.
Roger Craig, the hardest working running back in the NFL, for Power Burst. Staying in shape keeps Roger ahead of the competition. Fueling his body with Power Burst is what keeps him going. Power Burst is nutritionally designed to replace the vital nutrients your body loses during exercise, and it comes in 4 refreshing flavors.
After all this, only one sports drink satisfies my thirst.
Power up with the refreshing taste of Power Burst.
Catalina Cruises, the largest ships with the lowest fares, is now running daily passenger service to Catalina Island from our terminals in downtown Long Beach and San Pedro. Half the fun is getting there. And fun is what you'll have aboard our spacious passenger ships. Tickets are available the day of sailing and with Ticketron. Catalina Cruises, let yourself go.
Sometimes we all need a special friend to talk to, privately, one-to-one.
The good news is there's a special lady waiting to talk to you live right now.
Would you like some friendly advice from a woman's point of view?
Or a soft, soothing voice to make you feel better.
Call now. I'll be your special friend. Call now for live, private, one-on-one conversation. Dial 1-900-847-LIVE. That's 1-900-847-5483. 10 minutes of live adult talk, just $2.50 a minute. Adults only.
Randy Travis on strings. Branford Marsalis on the horn. Paul Schaefer on keys. Carly Simon on lead. There are a lot of different parts to play in the American Red Cross. Play your part.
Welcome back to the University of Redlands. We're moments away from the start of this second half, and the California Emperors leading New Mexico by a score of 2-0. And Dean, if you're one of the New Mexico Chiles or their coach, what do you think the halftime conversation consisted of?
It might have consisted of some 4-letter words. I'm sure the coach wasn't very happy that the Emperors exposed a weakness in their defense like they did. New Mexico had their opportunities early on. They didn't take advantage of it. But the Emperors had a few opportunities, and they did take advantage of it, and that's the difference in the game, obviously. Look for New Mexico to put a lot of pressure on the Emperors this second half, of course, to try and get even. It's not a 1-goal lead, it's a 2-goal lead.
Let's take a look at the first half stats, courtesy of our statistician, Mark Perales, and you see the Emperors there with 2 goals and 6 shots. New Mexico 7 shots, but none of them found the net, and that means that California can enjoy their lead right now. And Dean, anything on that page that really stands out to you?
Well, the fouls is one thing. You've got 19 fouls by both teams early in the game, and that shows that it's a very physical game. The Chiles have outshot the Emperors. The Emperors only have 6 shots on goal, but they got 2 goals, and that's a very good percentage. 30% as a matter of fact.
And California looking to build on its lead and looking to continue its climb up this APSL Western Conference Southern Division ladder. And what a Cinderella, what a success story this would be, Dean, if the Emperors can continue their climb and move all the way into postseason play, and wouldn't that be a stunner for a lot of teams?
Oh, yeah, it would be from the you-know-what house to the penthouse, and I think things would be looking pretty rosy here in the Inland Empire if their first professional team got into the playoffs, and after an 0-6 start, nobody thought in this whole league that the Emperors would come alive, but the coaches had faith, the management had faith, and the fans all had faith, and it's turning good things right now.
You mentioned the coaches of the Emperors. We just saw Rildo Meneses there on the sideline, and you look at his face, you wouldn't think he's leading 2-0, but he knows soccer. He knows 45 minutes remain here in this regulation setup, and anything can happen, and the Emperors can't slow down, because that's probably what happened in New Mexico a bit. They got the lead there and slowed down a bit, and before they knew it, New Mexico would come back, and it was a deadlock game, and then Dave Carr and company went on to win that game, knocking off the California Emperors back on June 9, but tonight a different story, different location, and in some respects a different California Emperor team. They're playing with different players here tonight. Giovanni Perez for one, and as Dean Foley mentioned in the first half, Monty Reeves. Both of those gentlemen did not play in New Mexico, and the fans that Dean Foley was mentioning as we were coming across here during the halftime commercial, a boisterous group of fans and a large number of fans when you consider this is a Friday night of action, and the traffic in this Inland Empire area is not the most pleasant to be in on a late Friday afternoon or early Friday evening. Nonetheless, we've got a large crowd here, and so far they've been treated to a California Emperors spectacle.
There's something that I feel very strongly for, because you're not only going to get Octavio and Paul David Seldis's outlook on things, you're also going to get Rildo Meneses.
Monty Reeves shot and goal! Goal number 3 for California. Drilling it by goalkeeper DeRose, and this is a 3-0 ball game. The California Emperors have broken out on top. Jerry O'Hara knocking that ball into the net, knocking it past DeRose, and Monty Reeves got it started first. He drilled one hard, shot it hard at DeRose. It bounced back, and Jerry O'Hara right there to take the replay. And Dean, you take this replay right away.
Well, I was blabbing. Monty Reeves takes an excellent shot here, blasts it off. There's Jerry O'Hara. One touch, which was the key to him before the game. One touch, he blasts it in. Jerry O'Hara just moved up another couple points on the scoreboard there.
Jerry O'Hara, coming into this game, had 5 goals. That's goal number 6 for Jerry O'Hara this season. His first goal tonight, coming 4 minutes into the second half at the 49-minute mark of this game in California. Chris Wilson prancing around his team, leading 3-0, and this is turning out to be a California Emperor evening of soccer. During the next dead ball situation, we are going to a brief commercial timeout. But right now, California is still trying to get something going, and with that ball out over the far touchline, we are going to step aside for 30 seconds. And when we return to the University of Redlands, the score, 3-0 in favor of the California Emperors. We've got plenty more second half action still ahead during our coverage of the American Professional Soccer League and the California Emperors right here on the Prime Ticket Network.
A completely new product line was introduced. Automobiles built for people who love the sheer joy of driving. A new sales, service, and parts organization was also developed. One that gave buyers a purchase and ownership experience second to none. Today, that early goal has been met and a new benchmark established. The 1990 Acura Legend and the Acura dealership.
California Emperors leading the New Mexico Chiles 3-0, and California has taken control of this game even further in the second half, leading 2-0 at halftime. They've extended that lead, but now New Mexico's in front. The header, Chris Wilson. Heads up play by Chris Wilson, getting over there, getting his hands on the ball, knocking it out, and now it's come over to the feet of Armando Seca, number 5, who goes back to Chris Wilson.
Chris Wilson's been a very hot goalie, and that's what you need to go into the playoff stretches, is a hot goalie. If you notice in hockey, usually what happens when the playoffs start and the team with the hot goalie wins.
Joe Giacalone comes in low. That ball there almost deflected into the goal, and you can see the frustration there on the New Mexico Chiles. Down 3-0 here. The first of two back-to-back games for New Mexico. They go on to San Diego from here, and if you're a team on the road in this American Professional Soccer League, you hate to lose that first game because more often than not it can turn into a very long weekend.
Well, the Emperors have experienced that when they had to go up to Seattle and Portland. It's very tough to play back-to-back. These guys are going at it full force tonight, and tomorrow night they got to go out and play a very, very good San Diego team.
It's kind of amazing that New Mexico didn't come out with a little more fire to start off the second half. You will, Dean, they're looking a bit sloppy at times, and California has capitalized, extending their lead to 3 goals now, and the throw-in will be coming here on the near side.
Yeah, but I agree with you on that, Dave. I thought that there would be a couple changes that would be made at halftime, but obviously Dave Carr knows his team better than we do, and he feels that the lineup that he's got in is the lineup he's going to stick with. If you look at the bench, though, none of the players are sitting very close to him.
No, I think at this moment, Dave Carr and company may be looking ahead to San Diego and hoping to keep some of their players rested. When you get on the road, you can't switch players at all, and here it's New Mexico again on the run, and they're in front, but another good job defensively by California. That was Armando Ceja, and now it's Monty Reeves here coming over. Monty Reeves getting it in. Ryerson knocked down. This is Mike Fox. Fox, Ryerson, Fox, Ryerson, Nato O'Hara. And this is Joe Giacalone. Giacalone moving through New Mexico. Fox chipping it over, looking for Monty Reeves, but New Mexico outnumbering California, gets the ball back. No one there except Emperors, and Ryerson putting this ball down. Fox heading it to Reeves. Armando Ceja, Giovanni Perez both came in there, but New Mexico getting it back, and now New Mexico comes down. And this ball eventually is going to be picked up by the feet of Chris Wilson, who gets it out to Richard Ryerson here. Ryerson out of Ceja. Back to Brew. Kurt Allen there with the ball. Into the hands of Wilson.
Right here you see the Emperors playing their game. They're passing it in between each other. One touch, bringing the ball up the field. If they don't see anything, they're retreating. This is Emperor soccer the way that Coach Meneses and Sam Khalil want to see it played.
Rildo Meneses saying before the season that he wanted to bring that one-touch style here, the style you see in many parts of the world, and it took a while to get that style of play into the game plan of this Emperor team. However, they've adapted well, and as Dean mentioned, you're seeing it executed here nicely tonight. Going for Monty Reeves. The goalies come out. Monty Reeves and the goalkeeper collide in the ball. They're fighting there. The goalkeeper punching Monty Reeves. That's something you don't like to see. Monty Reeves and Jimmy DeRose tangled up. DeRose hitting Reeves in the face. We'd like to see that again when we get a chance. New Mexico teammates are there. Over there, the goalkeeper, DeRose. And let's take a look at it, Dean, and you describe it for us.
Well, Monty Reeves is making a run here. He's blowing past the New Mexico defenders. DeRose comes out. They collide. And it was a hard play on both sides. I really don't feel that DeRose, it was necessary for him to get up and take a cheap shot at Monty Reeves. He obviously found out that Reeves wasn't trying to fight him because he took a punch at him, and Reeves didn't even punch him back, and showed great sportsmanship there that nothing ugly turned out of this.
Monty Reeves getting the last laugh there. His team leading 3-0, and probably told himself that DeRose can take all the frustration he wants, because right now this Emperor team is leading New Mexico 3-0. Ceja back to Chris Wilson.
It's the heat of the battle. DeRose is a competitor. He's got a very fiery personality. Monty Reeves, on the other hand, is kind of a mellow guy, but you know, cheap shots are are left for drunken ballroom brawls or whatnot.
And believe it or not, after reading a lot of the newspaper articles about fights in Europe, you don't see that here in American professional soccer. The teams and the players, cool, calm, and collected. At times, you'll see a Jimmy DeRose frustration outlet like you saw there, but now it's the Emperors on the run, and it was Fox going for O'Hara on the far side. The crowd. Shot there. What a shot coming in from the side. Hats off to the California Emperors. Giovanni Perez, his first goal of the season, and Dean, we see the replay.
Well, here comes Gio. He just simply, the guy goes for a slide tackle. Gio just turns, wheels, shoots a one-touch shot into the corner, the far corner. That's a beautiful shot. Jimmy DeRose had come out and tried to take on and take out the angle, but Giovanni Perez gets his first tonight, and that's something that the Emperors have been waiting for a long time.
4-0 on the board, a world-class goal by Giovanni Perez, and that has given this California Emperor team perhaps an unsurmountable lead, and I would put my money on it right now that they are going to win this game and get the maximum 9 points, which will put this California Emperor team just 1 point out of first place. What a turnaround this has been for the California Emperors. Still plenty of time to go here, about 30 minutes. New Mexico is going to need probably 4 or 5 goals.
4-point lead right now is looking pretty good, and the Emperors are putting a lot of pressure on.
Chris Wilson keeping this ball in play, and now New Mexico is going to try to come back, but so far, it's been all California Emperors in this game. New Mexico setting up, and that's the header over the top. And we are going to step aside for a quick 1-minute commercial break. When we return to the University of Redlands, the California Emperors show continues. Right now, the Emperors leading the New Mexico Chiles convincingly. 4-0. Still, the final moments of this second half await us when we return to Ted Runner Stadium.
What do you get when you cross high-speed dirt bikes, daring riders, and a screaming crowd? It's hell on wheels. Rev up for all the thrills of Ascot racing, only on Prime Ticket.
For outdoor enthusiasts, Prime Ticket offers an array of shows. If fishing is your hobby, travel up north as Prime Ticket presents Canadian Sport Fishing. And a little closer to home, there's Fishing the West. And don't forget Outdoor Magazine for an informative look into life in the great outdoors. It's an outdoorsman's dream. Canadian Sport Fishing, Fishing the West, and Outdoor Magazine, only on Prime Ticket.
The animals in the forest. If they could talk, what would they say? They might say, be careful with fire in the forest. Just like Smokey says, only you can prevent forest fires.
You've heard about the friendly blokes down under. These Aussies have their own way of saying goodbye. We've got the greatest hits in Australian rules football right here on Prime Ticket.
Returning to the University of Redlands, we've still got the California Emperors show continuing. The Emperors leading the New Mexico Chiles convincingly 4-0 in this second half of action. And this game, for all intent and purposes, is a victory for the California Emperors. Still some time remains, but New Mexico probably needs a lot more time if they want to catch this streaking California Emperor team, which is looking to move up in the standings. 9 points. The Emperors are going to win tonight, and We've been experiencing slight technical difficulties with our audio here in the Inland Empire area of Southern California, but we're with you, and we're going to be with you till the end of this game and right there with the California Emperors celebration. On the far side, the ball goes out over the far touchline, and it's going to be coming back in throw-in time for the California Emperors, and Dave Carr, not too happy of a man right now, but hey, his team's had a great season. They're in first place going into this game, and depending on what happens with the rest of the APSL schedule this weekend, New Mexico could still be in first. This is New Mexico on the drive. This shot over the top. Hit well, but high. And it's going to be time for Chris Wilson to be kicking this ball back. There you see Rildo Meneses. The smile has finally come on the face of Rildo. Dean, we knew it was going to happen eventually, but there he is, smiling and getting things ready in this game. Back to the action. Chris Wilson moving the ball around, and Dean, from our position here, we can see on the field right next to Rildo, Peter Schilling, once again the honorary captain of this California Emperor team. And when we return to the bench, we'd like to take a look at Peter Schilling and tell you about his extreme support of this Emperor team. There you see Peter Schilling, and in the background is John Fouts of the University of Redlands, who's responsible for maintaining this facility. And the Peter Schilling story, Dean.
Well, Peter Schilling, as you've heard before, came to our attention. I believe it was at the Arizona game. He got in a horrible car wreck. He was an avid soccer player when he was a youth. Now he comes out, and the Emperors have really taken him into there as part of their team. He's a great kid. He's working very hard on his therapy, and he's coming back, and the Emperors have made him sort of their honorary team captain.
The recent substitution we saw for New Mexico, Mac Williams in, David Dreyer out, and New Mexico will be scrambling around this field. This is DeRose. Comes across midfield. New Mexico. Coming down to the far wing, and it's a good job there defensively, but foul called against California. There you see Giovanni Perez and the California Emperor supporters. We heard from some of them during our Soccer International halftime report. And coming up immediately after this game, our Baker's post-game report. Tonight, it's going to be a very interesting show. Celebration for the California Emperors if they continue where they are. New Mexico taking this shot out over the near side, and it's going to be time for Chris Wilson to come out with the goal kick. And the Emperor girls, they've been supporting this team all season long, and they've been a great addition to the sideline of the California Emperors. Chris Wilson prancing around, and Dean, I know you attended practice several times this week, and Chris Wilson, a very intense player, not only during game situations, but also during practice.
Chris Wilson went 0 for 9. He's won his last 2 games. He's intent on not losing another game, and he told me that after the game last week. He wants to win 6 in a row, get in the playoffs, and get hot.
Dean, you mentioned earlier in the first half the substitution that could be happening for New Mexico. Well, we're going to inform you that it has happened. Ignacio Baez, number 9, into the game, and Chris Cook, number 12, out of the game as New Mexico tries to generate some offense here. Giovanni Perez on the run, but on the ground, and those youngsters, perhaps some future Emperors in that group, and Giovanni Perez, a long future of soccer, one of the youngest players on this team, 18 years of age, and Lawrence Lozano, age 19, and Monty Reeves, age 19, rounding out the youthful core. And good news about Lozano, Dean. Lozano coming back into this lineup, hopefully sooner than most people had thought.
Well, Lawrence went to a doctor, a physician that was recommended to him, and they thought that they were going to have to do arthroscopic knee surgery on him. We sent him to Dr. Curlin's office in Los Angeles, and he got the word today that no surgery was necessary, that he is cleared to play. He needs to take it a little easy, but boy, that's just a boost in the Emperor's arm to see that guy's face back on the bench, ready to play.
What headlines we're going to see tomorrow in the local papers? The California Emperors continuing their playoff run. The Emperors routing the New Mexico Chiles. The Emperors 3 straight. The Emperors dominating one of their final 1990 home games, and the Emperors deserve it. It's been a long season, a slow start, losing the first 6 games, but then it was 3 straight victories. And we've got a whistle and a couple players on the field there, and we're going to step aside for a quick 30-second timeout. When we return to the University of Redlands, more second-half action. This game's winding down. The California Emperors are looking ahead to their post-game celebration. We'll be here with the final few moments when we return to the Ted Runner Stadium on the campus of the University of Redlands. The Lacho Copa Select, #1 in soccer shoes and #1 for the pros. When the world's best show up at the World Cup, you can be assured Lacho won't miss a kick. The soccer difference, Lacho Copa Select, the leader in soccer footwear. Lacho equipment available throughout Southern California, Chick Sporting Goods, Covina, Upland, Laguna Hills, Yorba Linda, Oceanside, and the Tustin Marketplace. Lacho, a world champion. The California Emperors, the New Mexico Chiles, both teams setting up in Emperor territory. California leading by a score of 4-0, and there you see the California Emperor merchandise. It's going like hotcakes tonight. Tomas Castro and his Garment District silkscreen in San Bernardino, printing those fabrics, and you can look through the crowd here and see many, many Emperor fans donning their California Emperor attire. That ball out over the far touchline, and it's going to be throw-in time here for New Mexico. David Bolton along with Dean Foley bringing this exciting American Professional Soccer League action to you from the U of R Stadium, where the Emperors have turned the wheels on full blast tonight, dominating all aspects of this scoreboard and looking ahead to their game with Real Santa Barbara. A lot will be on the line, and after this week, we can very easily see California top the league standings. Billy Durkin there coming across midfield, and this is Jerry O'Hara. Now Monty Reeves. Alberto Bru. Bru crossing it in nice, looking to the far side. Kurt Allen running back. Dean, looking at the final 15 minutes or so, your strategy if you're a New Mexico team player?
Well, I'd say that New Mexico should try and get as many points as they can. They need every point that they can get. Try and put a couple goals in, maybe try and put some pressure on for a win. It doesn't hurt them really if they get any more goals scored against them. I mean, but they do need to get a couple points, and you know, when you're on the road, every point that you can get helps.
And that ball out over the near touchline here, and it's going to be throw-in time now. The California Emperors still maintaining their control of the scoreboard. The Emperors leading this game 4-0, and Mike Fox and crew probably at this point looking ahead to the rest of this APSL final stretch run. This is Baez, #9. Durkin there, and Durkin brings it out. This ball is high, and Faisal Ahmed attempted to trap it there with his foot, only to watch New Mexico slide through, and the Chiles here.
Billy Durkin's causing havoc. He's causing a lot of problems for New Mexico.
Jerry O'Hara on the run. He shoots off the bar. What a shot. Jerry O'Hara shows his power, drilling that ball off the top bar. That one very easily could have been in if it had been just a few inches lower. And I know Jimmy DeRose, the New Mexico goalkeeper, again, caught off guard, and the Emperors here. Let's take a look at the replay, Dean, and looking at that power of Jerry O'Hara, describe it.
Oh, he just takes a one-touch shot, blasts it off the back of the pole, hits the top pole, comes right back out. Faisal Ahmed took a kick at it, missed it. Jerry O'Hara is a powerful guy. He's a Mack truck. Once he gets going, get out of his way. Even if DeRose even if it had gotten near the post, he wouldn't have gotten that ball. That thing was moving like lightning.
Jerry O'Hara drilling that ball like he hits his 7-iron in the golf course. I've seen his 7-iron go about 190 yards, and you know why, watching him at this soccer ball. Chris Wilson getting his hand on that one nicely. Knocking New Mexico back out. That ball coming in high, but well over the top. And the California Emperors here with this clock ticking down. About 13.5 minutes to go. We'll be setting up. You see that low-angle shot and kind of get a sense, Dean, for exactly what's going through the mind of these players. And it's one thing to watch the game, but it's another thing to see this game from the angle that the players are seeing it.
Oh, that's true. That's a great shot there that we have.